Pro, DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Sign up now.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Well, how about this? Start a PI Dental Center with decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient of PI Dental for 20 years. Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, they're board-certified prosthodontists. They specialize in the restoration and replacement of teeth, and PI Dental Center are the originators of the teeth in a day. It's a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth and implants placed for a dramatic transformation in a mere one day. So visit PIDentalCenter.com. That's PIDentalCenter.com to request your new patient evaluation.
Medicare is making important changes in 2025. Independence Blue Cross can help. Our Medicare Advantage plans include premiums as low as $0, dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. The deadline to enroll is December 7th. Visit ibxmedicare.com/radio. Independence Blue Cross offers PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Independence Blue Cross PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/gutter to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/gutter for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in, everyone. Little inside baseball. Toward the end of the show, Richard of Somerdale, who's a great caller. I remember he won the side question once. What's the sign of the apocalypse? He said New Jersey is allowing self-serve gas. What the heck? The apocalypse is coming. All-time winner on the side question. He called in yesterday. He had a great answer on the side question. He told us that Rosie the Riveter, 98 years young, was at the battleship New Jersey. And we kind of molded that into today's side question, which I'll give you in a moment. But I think he also mentioned, I think it was him, we should get Scott Presler over to New Jersey. And immediately after the show, I look it up. Matt Rooney, SaveJersey.com. Scott Presler is coming to New Jersey. Of course, Johnny Z over at Mulligan's immediately saying, I have dibs on that. We got to get him the Mulligan's again. We got to do that again with Scott Presler. He's going to be in the area. He'll be here at 2:30 today, much in demand, and he will talk about this. And Paula Scanland, you may remember, who was a University of Penn swimmer in the Leah Thomas era, came forward because of Riley Gaines. She signed up now to work and come to Jersey. Saw that on Twitter. She'll also be here with us. So they're coming up later in the show. That's big news. Winning the guy. It's not winning the presidency, but turning Jersey red. And I don't mean like Chris Christie did. I mean with somebody who is really going to change a number of things in New Jersey. That is a big deal. And let's face it, what we saw this go-round, it's doable. And with Presler out there registering more people to the Republican Party, yada, 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 I think it's very, very doable. The breaking story, Judge Marchand, and I'll be honest, hard to tell what this guy is going to do, has delayed for a week. Now, as soon as you hear delay here with the Trump fraud decision, whether to throw it out or not, you get your hopes up that he might, because it's clear on appeal. The Supreme Court's brilliant immunity ruling indicates that any number of things they brought up in that case with various witnesses, we've been through it ad nauseum, would have qualified under presidential immunity. So you can't just throw them out because they taint the jury. The whole thing would have to be done over. Is that really what he's going to do? Then the sentencing would be a week or so after that. So he is hard to read. He did not dismiss the case. He might do that. My guess is, though, with this guy, might see himself as part of the resistance. And remember, the daughter's the big Democrat fundraiser. I'm still suspect of what he'll do next Tuesday, a week from today, because this is the only case that matters, given that the others are federal or in disarray. This is the one that will determine whether Trump gets sentenced with anything at all in this, even with a president-elect to be sitting president. It could happen. I would say I'm leaning toward not, but on appeal, this is a no-brainer. You don't want to go through that, though. That's the point. So this is up in the air. I thought we'd have something today to report. All right. When I did the spin room, first time I've been in a spin room, and I told you it was convenient here. I parked a couple of blocks away. It cost me $1.30, I remember, for something like that for the time I was in there. It was after 8 o'clock at night. Big expense. Walked over to the convention center. Length, it was at least a football. And width, it might have been 2 football fields. That's how big this was, crammed with media. Newsom had maybe 200 people with him, and his hair had another 200 interviewing his hair. I mean, it was that kind of deal. But I got to see these people up close, and I could tell you with some of these picks of President Trump. Now, Trump goes overboard with how they look on TV, but he also looks at, will they be able to make the case effectively on TV for his policies? Because he wants them to go on TV, even hostile channels if necessary. So let me go through the list. Marco Rubio in person, I think he said he likes the Cowboys. I have that tape somewhere of Rubio there. He looked great. He was very composed, very much in his element. He is someone who will push back on China, but he's against all this spending in Ukraine. So as Secretary of State, I'm fine with Marco Rubio. I know some people wanted Rick Grenell and all that stuff. I'm fine with Marco Rubio, and I think he'll prosecute the case for Trump well. Mike Waltz, star, very composed, military warrior, national security advisor. He did very well there. He's a great interview. The guy I'm still hoping to see before I get to the last is Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds' background is in finance, where Trump put him in as Treasury Secretary. Trump seems to like these New York Wall Street guys, so I'd love to see Byron Donalds in there. But the last is Kristi Noem. Now, I had never interviewed her in person before, and I said to you, I interviewed her there, and then there were hostile, people coming up asking questions, you can imagine, there at the Spin Zone. Homeland Security. She has executive experience. I'm not sure exactly the Homeland Security other than border state, South Dakota. She's been involved in a lot of things, particularly when she was in Congress. She is striking, without a doubt, and very composed and very good in the questions I asked. You heard the interview, and also with some hostile media, and I was watching her when she was doing the TV thing. So a little bit surprising he picked her on Homeland Security per se. But as far as what he's looking for to pronounce the Trump policies, I saw it. I saw exactly what he sees. So those are the ones so far that I've seen up close and personal, under pressure, there with hundreds of, quote, journalists around, et cetera. And I think that's what he looks at in addition to whatever their background might be that matches up. Now, Elon Musk apparently is even in on the cabinet picks. Jim Worthington is just back from Trump World and was with Elon Musk from the NAC. He'll be with us at 12:30 today. Jim said to the Inquirer, we're going to not make Pennsylvania a swing state. Why does it have to be a swing state? We want to make it at least purple, if not, red, light red, whatever the red, magenta.
Magenta's a good color.
Magenta. We want to make it magenta. That's the battle cry here.
Nice mauve.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll be working with the Elon Musk team. Wow, I knew he raised a lot of money. If he's working with the Musk team on fundraising, my God. I thought Elon Musk just writes a check for $100 million and then they go off in their way. That must be nice. All right, so he'll be here. But the thing today, as we look at these other things and what happened in court, still is the wrangling over illegal immigration. Tom Homan, the new head, the border czar, if you will, true border czar. Wall Street Journal today, they are very much cautioning Trump, of course, because they're pro cheap labor. That's what I like a lot of things about the Wall Street Journal, but they're pro cheap labor. So here's what we're going to get from Homan, though, what the Trump policy is going to be. I'm going to play you Scott Jennings, what he said about deportations. Now, Trump said clearly massive deportations. In other places, he said massive criminal deportations. Simple question, 855-839-1210. Are you wanting Trump, say, in the first 6 months to be massively deporting people? We get the upside. There is a downside. What I think is going to happen is the following. They're already targeting people that have committed crimes here or in their home country. They're going to go after them. There could be tens of thousands there easily. National security risk, same thing. And then I think they're going to go after employers who are just flouting the law. They're going to stage raids like Joe Arpaio used to do in Phoenix on these places that are undercutting American workers by hiring people en masse. I'm talking hundreds or more. They're going to do that too. Now, why that? Well, again, that goes after the employers pretty much. It reaffirms the Trump message about America first. And who's the constituency now for that? And I think the unions would be on board with it. Do I think you're going to see massive deportations then? I think they're counting on people self-deporting. I think they're counting on shutting down the border remarkably well. Now, there's still going to be pressure, though, as far as the numbers that are here, because Biden has so swelled the numbers, it's going to take a while to bring them back to any degree of normalcy. So what is it you want to see? I'm not convinced that Trump is going to, the military is not going to be involved. There's going to be ICE. Primarily, maybe local law enforcement, because there are laws in which they can swear in also. I think something's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be mass deportation of 20 people. I mean, Trump realizes there would be collateral damage there, and I don't think that's where he's going to go. This is a very popular policy. Here's Scott Jennings on CNN saying that the word deportation comes up in the polling, and in the past it was a loser. People don't like illegal immigration, but they wouldn't sign off on deportation. Now they do. Here's Scott Jennings.
Not only did people know it, it's overwhelmingly popular. Poll after poll after poll, Americans wanted this policy.
Which policy exactly?
Deportations. And even
mass deportation?
Absolutely. And even Hispanic Americans wanted it. A majority of Hispanic Americans wanted it as well. This is not controversial. Everybody's trying to make this controversial. It's not controversial. A couple things. Number one, presidents always deport people. Barack Obama deported 3 million people. This is not controversial.
Yeah, actually,
and on top of that, one more issue. There's 1.3 to 1.6 million people who've already received deportation orders from a court. They've already gotten due process. That's a good place to start, not controversial.
All right, that last point is the other thing I was going to make. There are already people here that have gotten the orders. It's up to ICE to track them down and get them out of here. I don't know where he got that figure from, Scott Jennings. If it's about 1.5 million people, he said, that's a pretty big number. Then you tally in the criminals, you tally in the national security, you tally some of this workplace. We could see 2 million, something like that. And I think if you do that, it will restore some degree of sanity. Then there's going to be a big look at what do we do next? What about the other people here that are not in those categories? Well, I think Trump is going to judge what's the mood, what's the vibe, how is this working? And that might be a year or two into his second term. All right, so 855-839-1210. It is true, when he talked about deportation, that was popular this time around. People have had it. It's overwhelming. And if there are 1.3 to 1.6 million have already been ordered to be deported and they're still here, that's a great place. Let's do that first. Vance has said the same thing. Let's do that first. Anybody that gets in the road of that, we're on the winning side. It's the right thing to do, and it's the politically right thing to do. The other is going to be a deeper argument. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all I need you to do is just push pound 1210. Henry will get you in right away. Side question today. Richard of Summerdale yesterday, as I said, told us in his call that Rosie the Riveter was at the Battleship, New Jersey yesterday. 98 years of age, he said. So that brought Henry and me, after the show, to one of the most famous posters ever. Think of a poster. Think of something you may have on your wall as a kid or one that you've seen. Rosie the Riveter, World War II, okay? So we are looking for your favorite and make the case. Is it a personal connection? Is it something of significance? All-time poster. Now, posters could be musical. They could be political. They could be just stars. They could be sports. They could be anything. I'll take a couple off. You're not going to win with Uncle Sam. I mean, we've had enough contests won with Uncle Sam. No. You know that Trump never wins. We told you that for the obvious reasons. We don't want to have the back and forth over this. This is the softer side of Sears. So his mugshot. I told Henry, I think the most profitable or famous that I can think of as soon as we talked poster yesterday, and I was right on this one, Farrah Fawcett.
Yep. It was over 12 million units sold.
It's almost unbelievable. Her teeth can't be any whiter, the hair, the whole thing there. And Charlie's Angels, I think at that point were very, very hot. Yeah, so that's the all-timer. I got a couple of others, but I'll save it so you have some room to take your shot. But get in first on that deportation question. What is it that you want that would check the box? Say we're having this conversation a couple years from now. I told you what this looks like it's going to shake up to be. And I think reasonably, you got to say, well, if he deports 1.5 million, 2 million people that have already been told to be deported and or criminals or national security, I think people are going to say, job well done. Now, what are we going to do with X number that we don't even know the number of that are still here illegally over the course of time? Hopefully, they'll self-deport. Hopefully, it will be uncomfortable, meaning harder and harder to get employment. And maybe you'll want to go back. All right, Henry, what's yours? What's your poster?
Yeah, so I'm going to take some more low-hanging fruit off of the board here. I'm going to start with 2 movie posters. That would be John Belushi's character, Bluto, in the movie Animal House, of him wearing the college pullover there and drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels. The other one I'm going to take off is the Pulp Fiction movie poster of Uma Thurman as Mia Wallace laying down smoking a cigarette. I feel like those two are very, very iconic posters, very iconic movies, and they've been in college dorms for, 30-plus years now. So I got to take those off the board.
All right, so it's 855-839-1210. All right, we got quite a space of posters. Everybody has one. Give me your reaction to what this means now. We're starting to see it flesh out. Does that satisfy you if that's what Trump does over the next year to 2 years as far as deportation? There's a lot of work there to do. No, we don't need the military on this. We don't want the military involved. That's exactly what the other side wants. We don't want the military on this. Don't need that. This is more of a law enforcement thing. Talking about ICE and deputizing people on law enforcement, that's a much better course of action. Trust me that Trump is not going to give them what they want on this right out of the way, big fight or whatever. No. These are going to be more surgical. That's exactly what we need to start the ball rolling the other way. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is just push pound 1210.
High school football is back. High school football is back. And so is the Friday Night High School Football Scoreboard Show. Join Daryl Dobis, James Bailey, and Matt Dents. Friday nights 10 till midnight. For a rundown of all the big high school games in the region and expert analysis. The Friday Night High School Football Scoreboard Show. Friday night at 10. Only on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday. Get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic. Its Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. What comes to mind when you hear the word gratitude? Maybe it's a daily practice, or maybe it feels hard to be grateful right now. Don't forget to give yourself some thanks by investing in your well-being. BetterHelp is the largest online therapy provider in the world, connecting you to qualified professionals via phone, video, or message chat. Let the gratitude flow. Visit BetterHelp.com/healthieryou today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/healthieryou.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. You got the side question. Everybody has one. A poster, okay, is what we're looking for. We took Farrah Fawcett off. Is that a little different? I don't know how, but okay. Also, what are you up for when Trump talked about what he did on illegal immigration and how Homan and others are explaining it with the guard rules? I'm on board with what they're saying. It's both something that's a big job and also something that is not going to give the other side, it's going to make it difficult to be saying we shouldn't be taking people out of the country who already have been deemed to be deported. And it's also going to be pretty hard, not that they won't try, with people with criminal convictions, national security threat, and then these massive work sites where you have these unscrupulous employers that have hundreds of people undercutting American workers. I mean, this is the way to go. That's a lot of work. That's going to take a couple of years to clean all that up. And then we'll have a conversation about where we're going to go with the next phase of this. 855-839-1210. So don't expect on Inauguration Day we're going to see, some militaries lining up. The engines are running. As soon as the oath of office, do you solemnly swear the deportation starts? Let's go to Michelle in Spring City on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Michelle, afternoon. Michelle?
Hey, thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you, Michelle.
I agree with you. I would deport the criminals, those that are already supposed to be deported, and the security threats. And then I would do no benefits, no tuition, no welfare, no voting rights at all, and no citizenship, but you can stay.
You can stay. Okay, that would be very interesting. Now, that last part, saying they can stay, doesn't that encourage, well, you get here and you get the prize, at least you'll be in America?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I never always felt that way. But I do know some people whose parents brought them in, and they were innocent kids. So I try to be a little sympathetic there.
Well, no, I hear you, and that's exactly where Trump is going to go with this, Michelle. To your point, as much as people want this to stop, I think he recognizes, wholesale military, 20 million people. That's not going to be good. That's going to be a mess. This has to be surgical, step by step, that we wear this down. The same way it started, year after year after year of this. What's your poster? What's your poster, Michelle?
Okay, Jaws.
Yes. You know what? You read my mind. It's next on my list. I was going to take it off. I'm glad I didn't. That movie poster is probably the number one. Or up there, anyhow. And that summer, when that came out, it fit beautifully, that poster.
I was so scared of that movie, I wouldn't go in a pool at night for years.
Yeah, exactly.
For years.
Well, they come in pretty close to the shore. Exactly. There you go.
Yes.
Good, Michelle.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Yeah, Jaws is a very good one. All right, hit us with that all-time. Don't think just movie posters. Think a political poster, movie, athletic. All this coming off. As soon as I heard Rosie the Riveter, I wish we had known that, was here in town yesterday, apparently at the Battleship, New Jersey. All right, we got some more Trump picks out there. Kind of surprised about Kristi Noem at Homeland Security. You know the problem she had. That is incredibly troubling, shooting the dog, shooting the goat. But I told you honestly, when I interviewed her and I watched her being interviewed, I'm standing there with a multitude of people who are hostile. She's very good. Here she is with Dana Bash, Kristi Noem. This is a little while back, and they're talking about the border crisis. This is Henry Cut 10. Cut 10. A little problem, all right.
And people come into our country, and we've got a lot of people that have been on the terrorist watch list, dangerous criminals that are coming into the United States who do not love us, that we're allowing to enter our country. It's an unsafe situation, and the president can be the one who stands up and shows leadership at this time. Change your policies, build a wall, secure the border.
Governor, President Biden is negotiating.
But we don't
want to do any of
one to do the other.
He's negotiating because this is what Republicans wanted him to do. So again, why not take the W?
What has he done? What has he done? He's done nothing as far as actual policies and actually using the tools that he has. I sat 2 days ago with people that work for him that said this president is tying our hands every single day. He does not let us do our job. This president, we work for him, we work for the federal government, and we hate it. We hate our jobs and we hate what's happening to this country because he will not keep us safe.
All right. Now, have we learned the lesson? And you're seeing this play out with the majority leader. I can't predict tomorrow. I mean, I want Rick Scott tomorrow. I'm saying this because these goofy Republicans, remember what they gave, how they helped Biden Harris out? At the 11th hour, we have to have an immigration bill now. That's what they were getting at there. No, we don't have to have an immigration bill now. We're not going to do an immigration bill now with the Biden administration and these Democrats because they're not going to follow it, first of all. For 3.5 years, they went wild. We know what works. Stay in Mexico is the first thing. Build more of the wall. Beef this up. And internally, turn Tom Homan and ICE loose on the people that we were talking about. You do that, we're going to go a long way toward getting back to some degree of normalcy. So Noam was very good in that. The other thing that's interesting to me, who's going to be the press secretary? Now, Megyn Kelly, I saw some people saying yesterday because she went out to rallies for Trump, et cetera. I don't see Megyn Kelly leaving. That would be fascinating to see Megyn Kelly with the media on an everyday. You want to see that. I know that I do. Tucker Carlson has said, he wouldn't do anything like that because he's completely antithetical to them. You at least have to go back and forth with them. So who would you like to see as the press secretary? The other thing I'd like to see, and I would go if they do it, I'd like to see, I'm going to tell that to Jim Worthington. He's coming on here. He's got some juice there. He's talking to people. Push that the so-called alternative media, be they podcast or talk radio, they get to sit in the front rows and they get to ask the lion's share of the questions. The ABC, NBC, CBS nuts, they get the back. And maybe they'll get a question. I think that would be an interesting dynamic. Now, I can't imagine that Theo guy or Joe Rogan asking a question there. Oh, my God. That would be, wouldn't you see Joe Rogan asking a question of KGP? Now, that would be an interesting development.
He wouldn't let up either. He'd want an answer.
Right, yeah. You can't handle the truth. Yeah, it would be. So I don't see Megyn Kelly doing it, but that would be fascinating. But I'm going to tell Jim, Jim, we got to get talk radio and we have to get the podcasters in the front rows on a daily basis. All right, Jim Worthington is next. Then we'll take more of your calls. He's got a lot to report post-election. The NBA is back, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/DOM, D-O-M, to make every moment more this season. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds, terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You know why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo? Because I want to make sure that my searches are private and out of anybody's data profiles. That means the government or any other legal requests, you need to use DuckDuckGo. So they don't track you at all, regardless of what browsing mode you're in. Every time you search on DuckDuckGo, it's actually as if you've never been there before. That's important to me. So they have a 3-in-1 privacy subscription service. It helps protect your personal information from being exploited by hackers, scammers, and privacy-invasive companies. Plus, it's from DuckDuckGo, so you know it's legit. All this for $9.99 a month, and here's an exclusive 7-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Then pay $9.99 a month. Again, the subscription at DuckDuckGo.com/1210, DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Buy low, sell high. It's a cardinal rule of investing. With the market near record highs, you need a proven system that protects what you have earned without sacrificing opportunity for growth.
Jim O'Neill, Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. With the stock market at record highs, I would recommend taking your money and put it into a crash-proof retirement system. This year, I have earned over 14%, and it can't be taken away.
Gail Schlosser, and I started with crash-proof retirement in 2016. I'm getting great returns, up to 12 to 15%, and it's not going to dwindle away in the stock market.
Regina Kukulski, Langhorne. This year, I earned 10.5% interest. I feel really good looking at that because it's not money I lost.
Dolores Queen, Hatboro, Pennsylvania. We have outperformed the market this year, and when we earn 14%, it's ours to keep.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Typical November weather returns to the Delaware Valley for the rest of the week. A mixture of sunshine and clouds today. Will be breezy with a high 57. Very cold tonight, mostly clear. Low 35 for the city. Colder out in the suburbs. And for Wednesday, expect plenty of sunshine, but a high temperature below average at 53.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, big issues, big guest. Jim Worthington back, the Inquirer says, from a celebratory dinner in Trump world, mingled with Musk, Trump, and Melania Trump. And there's a hookup here with Elon Musk people as far as fundraising. Jim, of course, the owner of the Knack out there in Newtown, Pennsylvania. He joins us on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jim, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate being on.
So based upon what you said here with the Inquirer, we like this as a goal. Pennsylvania will never be a swing state again starting in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we are, as far as I'm concerned, going forward as of today or yesterday, really. I mean, it's time to start thinking about 26 and 28, and the way to do that is to increase our registration and continue really hard on the vote by mail early voting. I mean, we got that down from four Democrats to one Republican from 2020 down to less than 2 to 1 throughout the state. And in Bucks County, we did an excellent job getting it down from 1.4 Democrats to 1 Republican. If we continue on this path, we'll be just like Florida. I mean, Florida, when they started this, was behind just like we were, and then eventually now they just crush it in the early voting. And early voting doesn't mean you cannibalize the people that would have went to the poll. What it really means is you're getting people that typically do not vote in the election, those low propensity voters, and you're reaching out to them to vote by mail at home, and therefore you capture them because on election day they historically haven't gone. So you get enough of those, and we have enough of them. I mean, I've said it repeatedly. We lost 2020. Not because we didn't have enough voters, just not enough of our registered voters went to the polls. We had almost 1 million people sit on the sidelines in 2020, and we lost by 80,000 registered Republicans, almost 1 million, and we lost by 80,000 votes. This time we didn't let that happen with the help of Scott Presler and Elon's team, and of course the Trump Force team, which was phenomenal and doesn't get anywhere near the credit they deserve. The Trump Force team, Michael Whatley and Laura Trump, I think was the number one factor in winning Pennsylvania. In terms of boots on the ground and working it. They did an excellent job, our state director, Ashley Walakovich. So anyway, long story short, I think we're just one election cycle away from making us not a swing state anymore. I really believe that.
Come on now. Give me a little bit more time here. You're destroying talk radio. As a swing state, we have the most. Come on, Jim. You're doing interviews with people in Argentina at a McDonald's. Live a little bit here. I hear what you mean.
Well, honestly, it does take us out of the limelight. But I'll tell you, it makes the election eve a little bit more less stressful for us because we could just put us in the bank, knowing going in that you got Pennsylvania. Yeah. And keep in mind, the other reason you want to do this is because there is no question in my mind that Josh Shapiro is going to be one of the people, if not the one, running against us in 2028. And what's a better time than now to get our ducks in order to discourage him from running? Because if he can't win Pennsylvania, he can't be the president.
Well, that's true. Either beat him, that's the ultimate, or dust him up here, den him up enough that he'll be a bit dissuaded. He'll be damaged goods. Yeah, and I think with a good candidate and your resources and Presler and the others, that is doable. Now, the interesting thing is your alliance with Elon Musk and his fundraisers. I knew you were raising a bundle, but if you're in that league, my God, come on.
Well, I am in. There's two different. There's PAC money where people raise. That's Elon and his team, and obviously nobody in the world competes with him. But it's the hard dollar stuff that I do, where you get 5, 10, sometimes 100,000 from people. That's where I am supposedly one of the top ones, if not the top in the country, raising money for the president. But they're doing their own thing. His PAC's doing his own thing. But where I'm trying to get involved with them and had a preliminary discussion is, they still have an interest in staying in the game, particularly in Pennsylvania, in these swing states. And they are in line with what we're thinking, or what my group has always professed, which is we've got to continue with the vote by mail and the voter registration and find out, how we continue that. And I think we can't wake up like we did this last year and a year ago and say, okay, we're at a deficit there. Let's get to work on that. I think it needs to start right now, and it starts and it helps us in 2026. It helps us in 2028, and we're going to see if we can align there. The other group that I'm going to speak to, my Congressman Fitzpatrick and Dan Muser, who's great congressman in Pennsylvania, we want to have a conversation hopefully soon with Laura Trump and Michael Whatley about continuing a version of the Trump Force program with all these Trump captains and congressional captains that oversaw these counties throughout Pennsylvania. They're already in place. In fact, I hosted a lunch for them yesterday. They came from all over the state. There was like 60 of them that showed up. And, right now the plan is they're kind of out of work. But, why not find a way to keep many of them, if not all of them, still continue to do the work that they did in the last 4 months? They were so effective. And by the way, this is no slight to any other group. The GOP's doing their own thing. Presler's doing his thing. I kind of do my thing. But there's enough, Charlie Kirk, there's enough good people out there that are all working together to the same goal. Elon's team, that why not keep the Trump Force team? They were a powerhouse. And they've get far less credit than they deserve. I know we turned 300 of our volunteers over to Trump Force. Linda Mitchell, who runs my advocacy, turned them from our People for Trump group to the Trump Force team. They're all raring to go. They want to keep working. So let's keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, that's exactly how you win, Jim. That is exactly the point, day after day, reinforcing the messages. Now, you and I, at least by text, you like the picks so far. I love some of them. I don't object, but I said that Trump puts a lot of value, and you know this, on how people look and, more importantly, advocate his policies on TV. I think that's why I picked Kristi Noem. I interviewed her in person. There were hostile interviews after that at the Spin Zone, and I was really impressed. Your thoughts, though, Homeland Security, I'm not sure about that connection.
That was look, I'll never second guess the president. He always has a reason for what he does, and I know Kristi's been loyal. I don't want to denigrate her ability to do that job. I was surprised she was put into that slot. I thought she was, regulated to something else. But, look, here's the deal. I think that with the president, particularly since he had, the last run, everybody knows where they stand going into this, and you're either going to perform or you're not. And he'll have a short leash. I mean, at the end of the day, and as far as some people were worried about some of the picks maybe not being, as Trumpy as they want them to be, they know that they're not going to get away with not being fully supportive of him and having his back. But Chrissy Noem's an interesting one. But I will tell you this. Starting with Susie Wiles, who's just a rock star. She already came out with we're not bringing the circus to the White House. She's amazing. She had that quote. Tom Homan. Elise Stefanik. Mike Waltz is excellent. I know the guy personally. Brian Fitzpatrick's a big fan of Lee Zeldin. I've gotten to meet him. Rubio, I think he'll do a good job. I just think they'll all be. I'll tell you one guy I'm looking for that's probably going to hopefully come out of Pennsylvania is Dan Muser. I know he's the congressman. They're potentially looking for him. He'd be a great addition. There's still more to come, but even Jeff Bartos, a guy that's that not one of these higher appointments, but was looking to potentially be with the administration. The Republican Party has so many people on their bench. It's unbelievable the talent we have.
Well, it's unbelievable here in Pennsylvania, and you were one of the driving forces, not just here, but across the country. And you're an incrementalist. I love it, to continue doing what was done. Don't want to play catch up again. Now, Jim, one request, and I think the president has said something he might do this with the media pool. Would love to see the alternative media, the podcasters, talk radio, be in that room asking questions of the press secretary.
That's interesting. When did this all come about? This
has started to be talked about in the last 48 hours. In other words, ABC, NBC, and all that type. We know what they're going to do, particularly with the Trump administration. There's a lot of alternative voices out there interacting with the press secretary in a somewhat positive way that I think would turn these into something a lot better.
I think it's brilliant. And, I think it makes all the sense in the world. I mean, I'm just one person, but I would vehemently be in favor of that. I mean, you get away from the standard ho-hum, same old stuff, reporting and get some people in there. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I'm sure that this is being, I'm sure it's being talked about if you're talking about it on the radio, because people listen to you, and it's probably getting talked about all over the country then.
Well, you're our pipeline.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've kind of been, believe it or not, things have not slowed up for me. They've gotten busier because even Brian Fitzpatrick, Congressman Fitzpatrick, was in a dinner last night with Mike Johnson and down in D.C., and we were talking about how we keep this initiative going, and he was going to basically bring that conversation that from him and me to the president. I think today was talked about that Mike Johnson was going to be talking about the speaker about what we are doing here in Pennsylvania and how we want to continue it in Pennsylvania, and making sure the president's on board. So. There's so much things going on. It hasn't gotten any – I think we had a half a day's rest come Wednesday, and then we were back at it again. So, and by the way, guys like Presler and everybody else, it's funny. I think we all took half a day off, and then we got back on the horse, and everybody's more excited than they were than when we got the president elected. It's – we're playing the long game.
You got the taste, and you are definitely playing the long game, Jim. And I know how much you like Vance, for example. I've even seen this morning the ticket in 2028, Vance and Governor of Virginia, Winsome Sears. I'm not sure she was elected governor yet. That would be a heck of a ticket.
There's no question. There's so many good combinations. I am a Vance guy, so he's always going to be at the top, but. Vance, Byron Donalds, Vance, Winsome. I mean, there's so many good people out there that Vance, Elise Stefanik.
That's the proper place, her UN, but she would be a heck of a VP choice.
Yep.
Well, Jim, thank you. Thank you for.
I appreciate being on. Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll continue to talk. Keep me in the loop.
I will. I appreciate it, Tom. Thanks for letting me be on.
Jim Worthington there at the NAC here on Talk Radio 1210. All right, there's your pipeline into some of this stuff. Yeah, that's the ticket I've seen out there. And Jim said Byron Donalds. I've seen Winsome Sears and Vance already to 2028. All right, give us your reaction to that. Henry tells me a lot of people got a good poster, too. It's a story. Remember, tell us why that poster. Maybe it was one you had on your wall as a kid. Who knows? Here's how you get in with that. 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210, and we'll get you in. Hey, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Diane Giordano is back with us, and that means the team leader of Giordano Realtors is here. It's that time of the year again for her free Thanksgiving apple or pumpkin pie. Come on out to the Abington Firehouse on November 26th for Diane's Community Thanksgiving Pie Open House and pick up your pie just in time for the holiday. Plus, Diane will be there signing copies of her latest book, Model Home Mindset, where she shares the winning strategies she uses to help home sellers like you get top dollar for their homes. She'll cover everything from expert negotiation to smart marketing and strategic planning, plus some must-know insights on the 2025 market forecast for prices, mortgage rates, and inventory. So make sure to reserve your pie today. The holiday favorite, apple or pumpkin. Enjoy lunch, desserts, and grab a signed copy of Model Home Mindset. Here's what you do. Go to getfreepie.com to reserve your place. Getfreepie.com or give her a call at 215-576-8666.
President Donald Trump, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Your show is great. I've listened to your show many times.
Thank you,
Mr. Many times. You have a hell of an audience, by the way.
We got you, Mr. President. We got your back. People are excited to vote for you. And
if we win Pennsylvania, we win everything.
Rich Cioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Howard Eskin here, and get game day ready at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirit store with the original Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey for $3 off 750 milliliters and $2 off Jack Daniel's Fire, Honey, and Apple 750s, or a 4-pack of Jack and Coke or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar, now ready to drink in a can for $1 off. Jack Daniel's, born for the tailgate, and please drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV, Jack Daniel's Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniel's and Older 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniel's Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano show. Let's go to the callers here. Let's go to Joe in Center City and see his answer to the side question, et cetera. Hey, Joe, good afternoon.
Hey, Dom, I got a great press secretary for Trump. Hulk Hogan, because you know that Jim Acosta is going to come back to try to harass him again. And I could just hear him up there saying, I don't like the tone of that question, brother. And he could body slam. He could body slam him, and that'd be the end of Acosta.
Well, yeah, after that thing back and forth with the mic before, Hulk Hogan wouldn't stand for that, without a doubt. Yeah. So who's your poster? Go ahead, Joe.
I just thought of a poster. This is back when I was in college, when Dr. J first came to the Sixers, when he had the big afro, the goatee, and the knee braces. There was a poster of him coming down the lane, going in for a slam dunk, and I had it on the back of my door. It was awesome, baby.
Yeah, the hair was floating up too, but
you
could
see it blowing in the breeze because he'd be going like 100 miles an hour down the lane. It was great, boy. All right.
Exactly. I know that's the poster. Thank you. That's not the iconic Dr. J move. It's the reverse, though, that he did. That's still stunning.
Oh, yeah.
It's hand size, not just jumping ability, that allows you to cradle a ball like that. I think
people say that play's overrated, too. I think that's crazy. I don't see anyone doing that today still.
It's one of a kind, yeah. It's hand size, too. You can't just jump and hang in the air. You got to be able to hold the ball the way that he did. All right, coming up, we're talking about cabinet positions. What about Secretary of Education? We got a guy, Ryan Walters, who's one of the people they're talking about. He's the superintendent of schools in Oklahoma, but he is prepping Oklahoma for when they get rid of the Secretary of the Education Department. So would he like to be the Education Secretary in order to start the demise of it? Get it? Is that a guy that you would put in there? Trump has said, yeah, that's a goal to get rid of the Education Department. Is that a tough thing to do? Yeah, apparently it is. Yeah, people dug in on that, maybe Republicans too. And yet it's one of the top 10 talking points for Trump or anybody else. Get rid of the Department of Education. Why do you need it? It causes trouble. Education is at the state level. So this guy's one of the candidates, but he's already prepping his state for it not being there. He's got a lot of other things, too. The Bible in classrooms, et cetera. So we'll talk with Ryan Walters. We'll get your calls, though, at 855-839-1210. That's how you get in on Talk Radio 1210.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie, your radio doctor. Every Saturday afternoon at 5, I talk with doctors and medical specialists from around the country to discuss the latest information about heart disease, cancer prevention, topics in women's health, pediatrics, mental health, and more. Then you can make better decisions for yourself and your loved ones. Your radio doctor, Saturdays at 5, here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, because your health is your wealth.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535, 800-511-3535, or biglou.com.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in, everyone. Now, we've talked with Oklahoma Superintendent of Schools Ryan Walters a lot on the Reading, Writing, and Reason podcast and on the air. I saw the other day he's prepping Oklahoma for the demise of the Department of Education, yet I see him touted among the top 3 candidates to head that up. Can you head it up in order to help it take completely control of education back to the states? He joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Superintendent, welcome back. Staying out of trouble, I hope, right? Or causing good trouble?
About to say absolutely not staying out of trouble. But, hey, can you guys imagine the Department of Education being shut down, power going to the states giving that power to parents, the innovation that's going to occur, the parents empowered, the student results? Isn't that an incredible – I mean, what an exciting time to be in education with President Trump coming back to the White House.
Well, you are one of the candidates, though, to be the Secretary of Education. So would your mission be then to start that, to be shutting out the lights in certain quarters?
Well, look, so my focus is on Oklahoma and making sure Oklahoma is leading in the America First agenda President Trump's. And President Trump has laid this out. He said he was going to close the Department of Education. What does that mean? That means no more of this nonsense as Joe Biden, Kamala Harris waking up one day in the summer telling us we have to allow boys and girls sports, boys and girls bathrooms, or they're going to sue us, right? That means no more CRT. That means no more Common Core math. You guys remember Common Core math, how silly that was? These are the things, these aren't suggestions. These are things that the federal government has forced upon the states. Our founders never intended for education to be ruled from D.C. And I'm telling you right now, parents are fed up. They are fed up with their rights being taken from them. They're fed up by being told by bureaucrats what's best for their kids. And you eliminate that department, not only do you do away with all of those dictates, all of that federal overreach, you also empower states to truly solve their education problems. And I'm telling you right now, it's what we've done in the state of Oklahoma. Every step of the way, we empower parents. That's school choice. That's full transparency. That's transparency over curriculum, but also budgets. That is elections of school board members and superintendents and principals. This is the full-on what it looks like to shift power from liberal bureaucrats to parents and taxpayers. It's a beautiful thing.
So, Ryan, is it that the Department of Education has their own bureaucrats that have some power of the funding, et cetera, to dictate? And that's one part. But if it went away, are you saying that Democrats, progressives, wouldn't be able to pass laws, or they wouldn't be as likely because they don't have any mechanism to execute them, and I guess to come up with ideas to torture people like you and what you're doing?
Look, that's exactly right. Because let me tell you, so I'm an elected official. I won my election in the state of Oklahoma, overwhelmingly crushed the liberal Democrats, come into office, and the first thing I find is I start rolling back. I fire 150 bureaucrats up here because guess what my Democrat predecessor did? She weaponized this office against parents, against education. It was to push their agenda. That's the same thing that happens in D.C. D.C., it is controlled by bureaucrats that are being weaponized by Democrats to come in. They partner with the teachers union to attack parents, to attack true education. They push indoctrination. They push this agenda, and they threaten you if you don't do it. Think about it. They don't only threaten, state officials like me. They're threatening teachers across the state, too. That whole Title IX initiative over the summer, it was crystal clear. It wasn't just state of Oklahoma don't do this or we'll prosecute you. It was your teachers. We'll come after an individual teacher if an individual teacher says, hey, Johnny, you can't go in the girls' bathroom. I'm sorry, Johnny. I know you might think you're a girl. You're not. I can't let you in the girls' bathroom. They were clear. They'd come after that teacher. That is the kind of overreach they had over the summer, and that's what we've got to get away from. And if you destroy that department, to your point, liberal Democrats can't continue to weaponize it against the American people.
What's the mechanism for getting rid of it, though? Is this congressional action? And if so, how does that work? Give me your sense. You're on the front lines of this. Everybody says it. I say it. But I'm not exactly sure how to get rid of it.
Yeah, let me give you a few options here. And again, President Trump and his team, I know we're going to lay out a great plan with a lot of specificity, but they've already laid out some breadcrumbs of how they could do it. So let me give you a few examples. Number one, you can start downsizing all of the work being done there that's not exactly mentioned by congressional approval. What you see is that agency has grown and grown and grown over time. That's what bureaucracies do, right? And so there's so much you could come in and cut from day one with an executive order, day one with a Secretary of Education that comes in there and just nixes it. So I think there's a huge amount of the work, huge amount of the bureaucrats that can be gone day one. Part two, yes, you need congressional action to help do away with it in its entirety, and then you can move anything that you want is not going to be based out of D.C. at that point. You can give power over to the state. So I hear people talk about certain programming. Well, look, that's up to the Trump team on how they want to do with that. But there's plenty of ways that you could do school choice through a tax credit. Think about that. Think about if we pass universal school choice across the entire country as a tax credit. You don't need a federal Department of Education to oversee a tax credit. It's just a tax credit. We do that here in Oklahoma.
Is there any role? What's the role? I put it this way. Oklahoma Superintendent Ryan Walters with us. What should the federal government do, if anything, in the field of education?
Nothing.
Okay, I thought you might say that, but okay, I was just
listen, because everyone always brings up, well, what if someone's breaking the law in the school? It's like,
yes,
well, you go to law enforcement. It's just like anything else. Like, you can't break the law. You don't need a federal Department of Education to enforce the law. You can't break the law, period. So, that's what you have law enforcement for and other things like that. So this belief that all of a sudden, the schools are going to be overrun or something, look, that's up for the states. Every state has a state Department of Education that is connected right there to the localities. Every state has local law enforcement. But to think that somebody from D.C. is actually helping something in a schoolhouse, think about this. the Federal Department of Education, $250 billion a year. They don't educate a single child up there. Okay, there's not a single kid being educated in that Department of Education. All they are doing is dictating an agenda down to you. They are not helping a single school in the country. Mm-hmm. They need to be out of it altogether.
What's the latest now? When we last talked with you, I guess it's been a few months, about the Bibles in the classroom or the Bible as an historical document. By the way, I don't know, you probably have been. My wife took me to the Museum of the Bible in Washington, and it's stunning. The American part of that, I particularly thought was really educational, really well done. What's the update from you in Oklahoma, what you're doing with that?
Yes, sir. So right now we are going through our processes here. We're having open competition for vendors to come in and see who can produce the Bibles for us for the school year. So right now, schools are required to use the Bible, and we're working now on purchasing those Bibles so that every classroom in the state of Oklahoma can have a Bible. So right now we're going through that process. But yes, sir, the guidelines have been laid out. Of course, your usual suspects, the ACLU, the Southern Poverty Law Center, are suing me and our state Supreme Court. But we're very, very confident about the results of that. And so we're moving forward 100 miles per hour ahead. We're going to keep on moving.
Are you heartened by, I wrote about this, Ryan, right before the election. It became apparent to me, somebody sent me a stat, and I thought I was seeing it, that the transgender issues, particularly boys and girls sports, the Trump people spent $33 million. Looking back on it, I would advise to have spent 50 or 60 or 100 million. That issue was a tell on the radicalism of the other side.
You look, I mean, I saw, one of the data analysis on the election said that, the number one issue of why swing voters swung to President Trump over Kamala Harris was because they believed she was more focused on transgender issues in the economy. I mean, you say that President Trump has done such a great job of articulating, look, this is madness. This is nonsense. This doesn't help a single person. Lying to people doesn't help, right? We need to be focused on improving the quality of life for everyone. But think about when you lie to kids like that and tell them that they might be born in the wrong body, the destruction that does to an individual. And I can't tell you how many parents and grandparents I've sat with because of all the issues that have arisen in their family because somebody lied to their son or daughter about transgenderism. It is not true. We need to be basing our advice and our counsel to young people on fact, and we cannot allow left-wing bureaucrats to be doing that. And look, I think the Democrat Party, they have gone so radically to the left that they have lost the American people in its entirety, and I think that issue has really done them tremendous harm as a party.
People tell me all the time when we have you on, they want to know more about you, what you're doing, update. Where do we go?
Well, I sure appreciate that. My website is RyanWaltersForOklahoma.com. If you want to, we do updates there. But also, I'm very active on social media. Got into it with Gavin Newsom a few months ago on social media. So, my Twitter is Ryan Walters, SUPT. So Ryan Walters Superintendent on Twitter. But yeah, we like to mix it up on there, and we like to make sure that the public knows what we're working on. So hey, I appreciate you guys. It's an exciting time to be an American, and I always appreciate y'all having me on.
Anytime, Ryan. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Oklahoma Superintendent Ryan Walters here on Talk Radio 1210. All right, I take that. Well, he probably would take over and try to then start knocking the building down the next day. That was a great analysis, though. It's not easy. You heard him say the mechanism of trying to get rid of this. But certainly, it's the vehicle they use. It makes it easy for them to do all kinds of things, including during COVID, the stuff that they did. All right, phone lines are this, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Side question today, coming off Rosie the Riveter. Thank you, Richard. It was just such an angle. That was here, Rosie here. I mean, Henry came up with the final. I was talking about like Vlad the Impaler. We were going to do. I didn't know if there was enough exciting thus.
It might be one of those down the line.
Yeah, down the line. But the posters, everybody's had one. Everyone's seen one. Tell the story. Tell us the story of that poster that you put up. You heard the Dr. J story, and it's true. It looked like his hair was moving. I think he took off from the foul line. That's the one he's talking about. I never saw Michael Jordan as an unbelievable otherworld dunker. He was kind of pedestrian, given his jumping ability and his athleticism. He didn't really do anything. Dr. J did. It was a different body, a different type. And I think it's the ability to grip a ball. I can't palm it. Henry, can you palm it?
I can palm it, yeah.
Yeah, if you can palm it, it makes a big difference. I think it gives you another 6 inches. If you're up around the rim and can palm it, you can dunk it. If you can't, You got to kind of cradle it in some way.
Yeah. My only problem is I have like a negative vertical, so I'm not getting up towards the rim anyway.
All right. All right, we'll trade you. 855-839. Then there's Dan, who's 6'8". I don't see any dunking, though. All right.
I'd kill to be 6'8". I could definitely
Dan's under the weather a little bit, so let's think about him today. AT&T and Verizon Wireless just pushed pound 1210. Rick is in Tabernacle on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Rick, good afternoon.
Hi, Dom.
Hi.
I think, first of all, that you should be more recognized for your role in putting Trump over the edge, way over the edge in Pennsylvania. I think Scott Presler wouldn't have gotten the press. People wouldn't have known his objective had it not been you. So I think a cabinet post, maybe Secretary of Truthful Broadcasting, would be appropriate for Don Giordano.
Let's get on. Well, I'll just take that front seat asking a question. Now, I don't want the Trump press secretary. I'd like to ask KGB just one question, Rick. Thank you, though, Rick. We're proud of that. And Scott Presler was just made for us. He was made for talk radio. You know, when I first saw him, I said, we got to get him on as much as possible to Dan.
Yeah. I sure like to see Kayleigh McEnany return to work for
the book?
For the team.
Flicking through the book. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she'd be very good.
All right. Back in the late 60s and early 70s, I was in high school and college. And in 1969, the film Easy Rider came out, and the classic culture-breaking poster was Dennis Hopper, Peter Fonda, Jack Nicholson wearing a football helmet on the back of Peter Fonda's motorcycle. And it was I saw that in almost every dorm room, community center, home bedrooms, It was prolific everywhere.
Absolutely, Rick. Great one. Put that one down, Henry. That's one. Now, we weren't in the days of posters. I'm trying to remember how it was configured, but it was my two Johns. One was the Pope. The other was John Kennedy. I think every place in South Philly, what? I can't eat dinner here. You don't have that here? Plus, you have to have the slip covers with plastic on them so they don't get dirty. I mean, you couldn't be around. I don't know how that went away. I think it was not a poster, but it was something like that. That was a really good one, though. All right, phone lines, you can get in at 855-839-1210. Scott Presler here at 2:30 today, now going to Jersey. And Paula Scanland, remember her? Inspired by Riley Gaines. She was a University of Penn women's team swimmer who had to endure the naked Leah Thomas walking around. And she came out. She burst out. Whatever would happen to her, she was inspired by Gaines. She wants to come to Jersey and work with Presler, among other things. I think Presler and what's going to happen here in Jersey, not going to be easy still. Not a layup. But it's like a, 7 or 8 foot bank shot. Can win the governor's race. People in Jersey are ready for this, and I'm not even sure who the Democrat will be. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. More calls coming up on Talk Radio 1210.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
First thing I want to say is a shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
You guys make my morning every morning. I voted Trump, my whole family. I obligate my whole family to vote Trump. I am so excited. Like, tears are coming out of my eyes. Like, it's a real thing. I love America. I love this country.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, we are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Odyssey's I'm Listening is our commitment to more mental health conversations. Mike Shinoda from Lincoln Park talks about being willing to be open and talk about their mental health.
What is my mental health right now? And it feels like it's low, or you're looking at your spouse or friend or whoever and you're saying, I think that they're having a really bad day. It should be cause for action.
Talk saves lives. For more mental health conversations, visit imlistening.org.
Let's talk about your mental health, free from fear or judgment.
Most people experience feelings of depression, anxiety, grief, and hopelessness when dealing with stressful life events. If you need to talk, call or text 988 to connect with a trained professional who is ready to listen and provide support 24/7. The Philadelphia Crisis Line has trained counselors who get it. They understand that sometimes you need an ally, someone who will listen and get you the support and services you need. Call or text 988 because you matter.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee, if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out.
I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Attention PHT listeners. The Bush Auto Group is bringing you, the listener of this station, exclusive year-end savings. Visit bushautogroup.com/save. That's bushautogroup.com/SAVE to unlock these special limited time offers. If you're searching for the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle, now is the time to act. These offers are insane. Head to bushautogroup.com/save and grab your exclusive year-end offers today. Philly rides with us.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano show. You know, they're having a debate in City Council today, the beginning of the arena nonsense in downtown Philadelphia. Linchpin of that, how magical it will be to ride SEPTA coming into town. Can you imagine? I'm just looking at this from the Inquirer. SEPTA now, come January, the fee, the daily fee, whatever, the amount to ride, whatever a
daily pass
would be, and anywheres, will be up 21%.
Oof.
21%, and there'll be service cuts, and they need billions and billions of dollars more. This is, I know the city of Philadelphia jumps out at you, but I would say SEPTA is more ill-run than the city of Philadelphia. That's saying something, I know. I think the school district of Philadelphia is more ill-run than Philadelphia, too. We might do a side question someday. What is more ill-run than the federal government?
I got one.
That might, yes.
Well, the Sixers.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, my gosh.
That works. Tonight, Embiid coming back. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Potentially disastrous here. We'll see. 855-839-1210. You get in. Let's go to 1:30. Colonel Alan West here. Haven't spoken with him in a while. And don't forget the man of the hour, Scott Presler, will be here at 2:30. You heard Jim Worthington, though. We are really lucky here in our area. And we have Linda Kearns, all right here, not just in Pennsylvania, right in our own area. We have 3 of the biggies that have moved Pennsylvania forward and are going to continue to be involved in moving them forward. I mean, Linda Kearns right now is still working on the Casey thing. By the way, an update. We had Dave McCormick on yesterday, and now Chuck Schumer relented earlier this morning and says he will seat him for orientation. And yet, somehow or another, Bob Casey continues, hoping to get to that trigger point, I guess, that would then give us a recount. Toward what point? I mean, I get it. I know how I am, and I share that with candidates. It'd be very hard to give up. But at this point, it's playing into the narrative of election denialism. That's what it's playing into. And somebody like Josh Shapiro doesn't like this because it reverberates. The vibe starts to come toward him. What are you saying about this, Josh? And you're going to start to see this once Trump takes office. Josh Shapiro is one of the leaders of the resistance. Is that the way he's going to play it? Let's go to John in Cheltenham. And, John, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Good afternoon, John.
Hi, good afternoon, Dom. Thanks for having me on again. I wanted to give my iconic poster, goes back a few years, but back in the day, Raquel Welch was on a poster of 1 million, I think it was 1 million years BC.
Yes.
Was an iconic poster of her in that furry-clad.
Here's a little quiz for you, John. What movie was that featured in prominently?
I think it was 1 million years BC, I believe.
No, I mean the poster itself was featured in it.
Oh my gosh.
Think of a prison.
Oh my gosh.
Think of a prison.
Yes. I think it was.
Emery, do you know?
Go
ahead, John.
Redemption?
Yes.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, it showed the progression of, I think, for Rita Hayworth. I don't want to say the middle one because somebody has it as an answer, which is good. To Raquel Welch, the superior poster by far. Yes, I think.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, that was an incredible movie as well, too.
Very good, John. Thank you. We got you for that. Raquel Welch in that poster. Yes, I would certainly second that. And that's the moment. Doesn't he throw it at her poster? Yeah, fancy britches. And the rocks go through the wall, indicating he's escaped. So, yeah, definitely a biggie. All right, we started off today, though, telling you Tom Homan, hope to get him on the show soon, and others, including the Wall Street Journal, trying to predict how this is going to look, what they're going to do as far as deportations. And I played you, Scott Jennings on CNN made the best point of all, that there are approximately 1.3 to 1.6 million people here who already have a deportation order. So you start with them. You start with the criminals, either in their own country or here. We don't need them. And you start with the national security risk. Then what would be the next tier? Well, then what they would do after that, and that's going to take a little while, we would go to these big work sites employing people illegally, the employers, et cetera, and shut them down. They're illegal. The whole thing is illegal. They undercut American workers. After that, not sure what they would do. Will people self-deport? Yeah, I think any number of people will. How about those that don't? How will that work out? All right, I think that's a work in progress, a debate in progress. But that's a lot of, if Trump does that, say, in the first year, that's a pretty big check mark to say we're on the way to cleaning this stuff up. But that's the latest this morning of what this means and how it will shake out. Alan West will be here in a couple of minutes. The side question coming from Rosie the Riveter being in town yesterday. Here is, I love this, though, and I may stop this here at a certain point. I just wanted to, this is one of the guys, look, I had a no gloating with a lot of people. Look, they lost in their belief system and all that, unless they're obnoxious, you know, like the View people. There's a list to gloat. But I want to gloat with this guy, Professor Lichtman. This is cut 9. This is the guy that, Kamala Harris is going to, based upon his rules, remember that, his keys to the election. How come he didn't notice that she got dumped pretty severely here? You know where this is going. Here's Professor Lichtman telling us his rules, his keys to who wins elections were solid. But you guessed it, there was a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and Fox News. Here's what he said.
What did you figure out about the analysis of the race?
Yes, as I said, things could go wrong. There could be unprecedented events that change the pattern of 160 years of history. That's what happened here. 2 things. Number 1, disinformation. We've always had disinformation, but disinformation has exploded to an unprecedented degree. You talked about a grievance election, but a lot of that grievance was driven by disinformation. Starts with Fox News. and conservative media, conservative podcasters with tens of millions of views. But we've seen something brand new this time. The 300 billionaire Elon Musk putting his thumb on the scales through his control of X, formerly Twitter. It's been reported that his misinformation has had billions, literally billions of views. And this is
okay, let's stop it right there. Let's stop. I just want to get this clown on the record, right? This guy has been exposed all this time with the rules, and the rules. Most of us were able to call most of these elections without a deep dive he supposedly did. But it's disinformation, and it's Elon Musk. Now, think back to FEMA. And here's Jesse Waters last night breaking down pretty well what's happened with FEMA. We now know. Now, look, not every rumor, not every person who talked about FEMA in North Carolina and Florida not doing the right thing by American citizens, slow walking, foot dragging, evading neighborhoods with Trump people. But we know that the woman who got fired, who was caught telling people to avoid the Trump areas, she's now said, well, this was a widespread policy. This is cut a lemon. It was not isolated.
Last week's election exposed how the liberal media lied to your face to prop up Kamala, and now the left's been exposed again. Last month, after FEMA botched its Hurricane Helene response, Democrats got on their soapbox and blasted everybody who criticized the agency. Remember? Turns out the only ones politicizing the hurricane was FEMA. And that misinformation the left warned you about was true. According to a bombshell report by the Daily Wire, a FEMA manager told relief workers in Florida to not help homes with Trump signs. Internal messages obtained by the Daily Wire shows the list of rules for FEMA canvassers. Rule number 2, avoid homes advertising Trump. So after FEMA confirmed that the messages were real, Director Deanne Criswell fired the employee and called her messages reprehensible. In response, the fired FEMA manager told Primetime that this wasn't an isolated incident, and, quote, FEMA has made me a patsy. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is demanding a full investigation and wants every partisan bureaucrat fired. But it looks like the agency's problems go deeper than just one employee. We also found out that FEMA didn't answer half the calls it received for disaster aid. Half the calls to FEMA after the hurricane went to voicemail. No response.
All right, there, right, stop it right there. So Jesse Waters laying it out. And again, not every person, everybody that finds something is correct. Daily Wire did a great job here. Half the phone calls not answered. It's astounding. People knew that in North Carolina. They knew what was going on. We didn't know. The memo was out there. Avoid houses with Trump signs. Unbelievable. All right, the great Colonel Alan B. West next with Dom here on Talk Radio 1210. The NBA is back. And FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do to catch every tip-off and buzzer beaters, place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to make every moment more this season. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. After a 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
Crash Proof Retirement records all financial meetings. All promises made in recorded financial meetings become legally binding between Crash Proof Retirement and the investing client. Crash Proof Retirement provides all of their clients with a certificate of authenticity, further documenting that recording financial meetings brings fiduciary responsibility to the highest level.
Jack Gunning from Bluebell, Pennsylvania. I don't know whether anybody can offer you the security that Crash Proof Retirement does. I have this certificate that tells me they're a fiduciary. Everything is recorded and they have your best interest at heart. That certificate is 100% documentation that you know what they're saying is 100% correct. Other companies don't have this guarantee. This certificate means an awful lot for me, and it should mean an awful lot for you.
Certify your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You know how important online privacy and security are these days, and that's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. Have you ever searched your name online and noticed how many sites are actually selling information about you? Privacy Pro is going to help you remove your personal info from those super creepy sites so they cannot share it or sell it. That's important to me. I know it's important to you. And you know what I love? I have my own little DuckDuckGo dashboard, so it actually keeps tabs on the progress of any ongoing removals and then lets me know if my personal information was removed. It gives me those dashboard reports in real time. Gotta love it. It's 3-in-1 subscription service, DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, as well as identity theft restoration. Get an exclusive 7-day free trial at duckduckgo.com/1210. Then you'll pay $9.99 a month. Sign up now, duckduckgo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Typical November weather returns to the Delaware Valley for the rest of the week. A mixture of sunshine and clouds today. Will be breezy with a high 57. Very cold tonight, mostly clear. Low 35 for the city. Colder out in the suburbs. And for Wednesday, expect plenty of sunshine, but a high temperature below average at 53.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it is Dom time, and it's always a great time. Haven't talked with him in quite a bit to see what he's up to and what he thinks of cabinet picks, the election, and Veterans Day yesterday. I know he was busy, but he's with us today. Colonel Alan B. West here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Colonel, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, always a pleasure to be with you, Dom, and thanks, Pennsylvania, for bringing it home.
Absolutely. Well, you know, one of the underrated things that happened here, I think, on the illegal immigration front are the policies of both DeSantis, Abbott that make common sense. Seeing these people in New York City, seeing New York flooded and others, it kept the story going. And it wasn't just people in those places that had experienced it, but it just showed the enormity of the money spent, the $500 hotel rooms, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think without a doubt, when all of a sudden you have a Venezuelan gang called Trinidad showing up in your neighborhoods, in your backyards, when you see women that are being pickpocketed and being dragged down the streets on, mopeds, and the level of crime that has increased. And I really think that it played a big deal with the black community coming out and saying, hey, look, why are you giving all of these benefits to people that are here illegally when we have issues with the economy, we have issues with jobs, we have issues with education and, crime in our neighborhoods. And, again, these Soros-backed district attorneys and these judicial activists releasing violent criminals out on the street. So all of those things came to a head.
Without a doubt. Now, I thought about you. Great that you're on today. We know that Mike Walls, it's going to be the National Security Advisor. I don't know if you have much connection. He's in Florida, too. You were in Florida. What are your thoughts of him as national security? And who do you like for these areas that are your real wheelhouse of national security? Defense Secretary, the current guy, very lackluster, to put it mildly.
Well, I will tell you that Mike Walsh and I, we just jumped together in Normandy back in June for the 80th anniversary. So know him very well. And I think what he brings to the table is that unique combination of someone that has been on the ground, that understands the tactical implementation of decisions and policy, but he also understands the strategic level of policy because he's been up there before, and of course he understands the legislative side. So he's got a trifecta, and I believe that he has the right type of perspective, and he'll be able to give the president all of the right recommendations when it comes to his national security policy, which in turn drives things over there in the Pentagon across the Potomac as far as defense policy and strategy. I think that without a doubt, Lloyd Austin served with him at Fort Bragg, always be Fort Bragg. And he just got caught up in the political side of things, coming up through the Obama administration, what have you. And he leaned more so to the ideological agenda of the left than really our national security and our defense policy. So I think President Trump needs to make sure that he gets some folks over there, not just at that top level of the Secretary of Defense, but you got to go 6 or 7 levels deep.
How do you do that, though? You have to have somebody who's the czar of that, like you, that would know and vet people. I agree with you because they slow walk it. We go through another 4 years, and it's the same stuff.
You're absolutely right. And so you've got to go deep into those people that have been those bureaucrats that are there too daggum long. And you need to be able to say, hey, it's time for you to go and bring in some fresh blood and fresh perspectives, especially when you see that the way that warfare has changed and you need to have that shift in paradigm. And, this whole thing about the long lag time that it takes for us to field weapon systems and things of that nature, we've got to turn that around.
What is doing that? Is it just the number? I mean, I broadcast from the Pentagon once, and I told listeners we had a guide, and I wouldn't say the guide exactly got lost to get to the thing, but he was fumbling around just a parking lot. There's like 80,000 parking lots to find your car right there just by that one broadcast. I thought, there's too much here. The bureaucracy here is unbelievable.
Well, and that's what I think. We've gotten too top-heavy, even when you look at the Defense Department, and really a lot of these combatant commands, being it, Pacific Command, Central Command, Southcom, what have you, AFRICOM. We've got to make sure that we have those lean bureaucracies. We have to have those lean headquarters because the emphasis has to be on the warfighter and making them effective. And I think the most important thing is that we have to get away from what I call an occupation military mindset and get more so to a power projection military, not a forward deployed, but a power projection military. And we've got to focus on the core competencies. You got to recruit, you got to retain people, you got to train them, you got to equip them, you've got to deploy them, they got to understand how to fight, and then you have to take care of their families. And I think that President Trump understood that we can have these limited strike type of operations. You want al-Baghdadi, you go in there and you get al-Baghdadi. You want to get rid of Qasem Soleimani, you get rid of Qasem Soleimani. Look at what the Israelis have done by decapitating the leadership of Hezbollah and Hamas.
And the phones, the blowing up phones.
All of these things. I mean, so we have to have those asymmetrical means by which we can prosecute warfare, especially against non-state, non-uniform belligerents. And that includes the transnational narco-criminal terrorists known as the cartels.
Yeah, let's go to that last part, too. Now, DeSantis has been the most where I had faith he would drill down and do this, actually talking about bombing the cartels, which would be a big step forward. I think the American people support it. What are your thoughts and what are the repercussions of doing something tactical there?
Well, I would tell you there are 4 elements to a nation's power. It's called the DIME theory: diplomatic, informational, military, and economic. I think first and foremost, you use the diplomatic, stick, and you talk to the president of Mexico and say, hey, look, you got to stop this. You got to curtail these guys. We'll help you in doing it. You got to look at the economic aspect, which you can put pressure on them. One of the things that, people talk about how you're going to fund these deportations and everything, find these cartel members that live here in the United States of America and start putting a kibosh on their on them and seizing their property. Cut down on the remittances that illegals are sending back into Mexico, and then also you've got to make sure that you undermine their human and sex trafficking operations, which is where they make most of their money, because you can reuse a human. And sadly, we've got to find 300,000 children that the Biden-Harris administration has lost. So I think that you want to try to use all of those aspects to undermine their power, cut off their finances and their revenue. And then, if necessary, you take out their, armed capability to be able to, do what they're doing and bringing folks across this border illegally. I tell you, if you come across this border in the United States of America, single military age male, and you're armed, guess what? Trigger's going to get pulled on you.
I hear you. Deportations. I'm in the camp that thinks when Trump said mass deportation, sometimes he put in criminal. It would be criminal, national security. And also, there are about 1.5 million, it's guesstimated, I guess, people, Colonel, who have an order to be deported that haven't been found and or are sitting there, and they're not leaving. They weren't deported.
Yeah, I mean, the Biden-Harris administration basically told ICE to stand down. And you're already seeing an increase in their motivation and enthusiasm with Tom Homan being up there at the helm, being at the ICE or the Border Patrol. Look, you have to develop an evaluative criteria, and he's got it right. If you're a domestic security threat, criminal, national security threat, we got to find you, we got to get you out. And you got to develop tiers, T-I-E-R, tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, what have you. And you got to start looking at these 25 to 30,000 single military age male Chinese, 425,000 criminals to include 30,000 murderers and rapists, 1.5 to 2 million gotaways, people that we don't know who they are. We got to track these folks down on top of the individuals that should have been deported out anyhow over the past 3.5 years of this administration, and they refuse to do so. And this whole thing about sanctuary cities, we're going to, read to them the Constitution, the Supremacy Clause, which says that as long as the federal government is doing the things in pursuance thereof to the rule of law, they're the supreme law of the land. And so these governors can stand up there and beat their chest and talk about, you got to come through me over my, dead body, whatever. Well, you know what? You may find yourself getting read up on charges if you're obstructing the implementation of law, which precludes people from being in this country legally.
How do you see that playing out, though? The sanctuary, even our mayor of Philadelphia, I meant to mention this to listeners, Sherelle Parker, did a news conference last Friday, and all she said about the sanctuary city status was, we'll have to see. Big change from the previous mayor, Jim Kenney, who took Trump on this, is the leverage funding, or you went one step further, which is violation of law by the people who are continuing this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's very clear and simple. Either you respect the laws of the United States of America and our sovereignty, you are harboring criminals. You are harboring people that are here illegally, and that just cannot fly. And I think that when you look at the results of this election, I mean, look at that map of the United States of America by county based upon 2024 election. It's very clear what the American people want. And I think if the Democrats want to stand and die on that hill, it's a very bad hill to die on.
Exactly. What are you doing right now, Colonel West, other than the stuff that you're usually involved in? What's the portfolio for Alan B. West? Listeners always ask when you're on.
Well, I tell you, we had incredible success here in Dallas County, even though it's a blue county. We decreased the voter differential with the Democrats by like 110,000. 4 years ago, Trump was down by 291,000. We brought that down to 181,000. We won back 7 out of 8 Court of Appeals judicial positions here in Dallas County. And you think about what happened in Texas. I mean, I think it was 12 or 14 border counties were won by Republicans to the point where the Democrat chairman of Texas resigned last Wednesday. So we are doing the things that are necessary to shrink this blue infestation in our major urban population centers.
Houston next, right? That's the next thing.
Yeah, Houston, Harris County is next. I mean, Travis County and Austin, Texas might take a while. but definitely here in Dallas County, Houston, Harris County, and maybe San Antonio and Bexar County as well.
Now, we feel for you on the football front, so I guess you're reverting to college football, given the state of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys.
Oh, look, folks are clamoring down here. They are not happy, and especially with the drubbing that y'all just put on them, 34-6, here in Texas. But, I'm a Tennessee Volunteer, and I think right now we're sitting at 5 or 6 in the country. We've got a big game against Georgia in Athens, and I think this could really determine and shape the college football playoffs. So I'll be cheering for my Tennessee Vols this Saturday.
I know
night.
You'll be doing that. Where do we find all things Allen B. West?
You find me on all those social media platforms except that TikTok, because I don't support that Chinese Communist Party, the American Constitutional Rights Union, theacru.org, and, of course, follow us on the Steadfast and Loyal podcast.
Colonel, hope to see you in the area soon. Thank you, Colonel. Have great holidays if I don't see you.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving, Dom.
Colonel Allen B. West here on Talk Radio 1210. Wow, I didn't even have a question mark down here. Just swerved off, and I could talk with him for hours. All right, coming to your calls next. At 2:30, Scott Presler here, and he's coming to Jersey. I'll read you the headline next of this newspaper. It goes, uh-oh, Scott Presler's coming here. All right, they call him dangerous to the establishment. Yeah, to put it mildly. They don't mean a bad way. They mean dangerous in the sense of overthrowing us. Phil Murphy, get ready. All right, let's talk about Dr. Bentz, my friend, dentist, board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. There's so many things that set Dr. Bentz apart from other dentists. And that's why I told you, routinely, dentists, I've been there, I've seen it. When I go out for visits or my own care, they send patients that are more complex to Dr. Bentz. And when talking with him recently, did this 20-minute sit down with him, and we're playing some of this as we go to give you a sense of his practice. He talked about the importance of technology in everyday work. Cutting-edge, state-of-the-art equipment is what elevates the level of care offered. His on-site lab and technology he has on hand every day. They help him provide you with the most accurate, consistent, precise diagnosis, and then your mouth, your teeth, your oral health. He'll show it to you. I mean, his buy-in with the patient to let you see what he sees and what happens next for great care to get you on footing where you're not worried about the dentist and all that. It's just maintenance care year over year. Dr. Bentz and the team at Bentz Dental Group, they provide solutions, even for the most complex dental areas. Get that initial appointment. I tell you this all the time. You're not going to find better dentistry. You're not going to find better staff. And again, the technology. Dan and I kid about the 3D printer. It's wonderful. And he's been doing this for 10 years since I've been there. He's way ahead of the curve. Call him for that initial appointment at 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com. 610-272-6949. Bentz Dental Group. Say it with a smile.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
I want to thank all of you guys. The coverage yesterday was top-notch with everybody throwing in a little bit of Matt Rooney late night and a little bit of Opelka. Rich out in Pittsburgh, I listened right till the end, right till Dom signed off at midnight.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, we are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Now, your Live Nation lineup.
Don't miss these upcoming shows.
See Brett Eldridge's holiday show at the Met Philadelphia presented by Highmark December 1st. John Legend at PPL Center in Allentown December 19th. See Silvertide at TLA December 20th. And check out Trans-Siberian Orchestra at Wells Fargo Center December 22nd, 2 shows. For tickets and info, go to livenation.com.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
It's Dom time. Dom Giordano. Weekdays, noon till 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time on my Twitter at DomShow1210. Thanks, Newman Price. Talk about posters. Scott Presler to the rescue. It's got that iconic shot of the Washington's Army going across the Delaware with Scott Presler in the position of Washington. And Fisherpine Leslie, Bryn Mawr, great poster. This was everywhere, including my own dorm room. Hang in there, baby. The cat.
Oh, yeah.
Pull it up. That is a great post. This is a good one. We'll have to come back to it in 6 months or something.
Oh, yeah. You can even spin off with just classic inspirational posters like that.
Exactly.
Like, that's an all-time.
Exactly. Yeah, all-time poster. Thanks to Richard of Somerdale for that yesterday. And Presler here at 2:30 today. Chris in Malvern. All right, Chris, afternoon. What do you have today?
So I figure Shapiro can recreate Obama's hope by conjuring Elaine standing up to the soup Nazi. Next.
Very nice. Yeah. The Obama poster, though, was well received. Still, the hope and change. Nebulous, but effective. Very good. Thank you. Here's the headline of one report. I think it's a Western Journal. Western Journal writing about him. Democrats have another problem to worry about. So tapping into the election, Democrats have another problem to worry about as a man who helped Trump win has eyes on the ultimate blue state. And it's an article about Scott Presler. And in here, I happened to see as I was going through it that Independent Women's Foreman Ambassador Paula Scanland responded on Twitter. She wants to help with what Presler's doing, registering new Republican voters in New Jersey. Paula Scanland's next. She's a young woman who, inspired by Riley Gaines, who was front and center, finally came out to talk about what it was like to be on the Penn swim team with a naked Leah Thomas walking around. I'm sure Democrats would have said, well, what's wrong with that? That sounds like you're slurring people by mentioning that. No, I don't think so. By the way, Riley Gaines says it takes 15 to 20 minutes to get into the swimsuit because it's contoured for maximum aerodynamics. Imagine having to do that with Leah Thomas strutting around there. That's a little bit different to see. Oh, my God. Paula Scanland is next. We'll catch up with her, and she wants to come to New Jersey, as I said, to turn it red when it comes to the governor's race. So we're going to start paying attention to the governor's race. Not the same thing as presidential, But if we turn that red in New Jersey, think about this upcoming summer. I'm already thinking of Johnny Z, who said, got to get Scott back since Jersey's in play. You saw the lines. You know what happened this time. Can we win that one? And I would say absolutely. I'd put it at almost even money at this point to win the State House in Jersey. There are going to be two big races this year. They're, off years. It's the governor's race in Virginia. I'm looking for Winsome Sears. And it's a governor's race in New Jersey. Big. And Presler is there. All right, your calls, too. We're going to get a winner here somehow. Now, these are great posters. Big 2 o'clock hour, Dom's Money Melody, also on Talk Radio, 1210.
How's this for a dream Politics and Pints event? It's me, Rich Zioli, with Jimmy Fela on stage together Wednesday, November 13th, 7:30 p.m., Media Theater in Media, PA. And we're going to have a cash bar available for soft drinks, beer, wine, and cocktails, which, yes, you can buy us. Media Theater, Wednesday, November 13th at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be a hot show, and it's going to sell out really fast. So get your tickets right now at 1210WPHT.com, and I'll see you for our next Politics and Pints, Zioli and Fela, November 13th.
It's that time of year again to consider replacing your old drafty windows and doors before another long, cold winter season rolls in. And my good friends at Guida Door and Window will help make your window and door replacement project more affordable with their buy one, get one half off sale. For every door and window you buy, you'll get the second one at 50% off. And you can mix and match these savings to suit your own needs. Buy an entry door, get half off a storm door. Buy a patio door, get 50% off a window. Need to replace all the windows and doors in your house? Then you'll save 50% on half your project. The more you need, the more you save. Plus, Guida is making it easier to afford your project with no money down and interest-free financing for up to 18 months. Act now. This offer is for a limited time only. Restrictions apply. For full details, call Guida today to schedule a free, no-obligation in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, Guida.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
They call me the Bubble Wrap Mom. Hey, Dawn Stensland here. Yeah, I'm always concerned about safety and privacy, but it goes well beyond being just a protective parent. And that's where DuckDuckGo's Privacy Pro comes in. It's actually a 3-in-1 subscription service. And yes, it includes DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, as well as identity theft restoration. All three are pretty incredible. But I love the VPN because it gives me that extra layer of online protection. So the other day I was getting my hair done, and you know how usually it'll come in not a secure connection. I don't have to deal with that because, of course, DuckDuckGo's VPN secures your Wi-Fi connection. Anytime, anywhere, at home, work, in the coffee shop, or, if I'm getting my hair done. So I hope you check it out. Right now, get an exclusive 7-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Then you'll pay $9.99 a month. Again, DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Little explanation. Henry taking care of it. You know what? On Twitter, be a little bit calmer about this. We love the side question. Dan's been sick yesterday, today. I put it up yesterday. We forgot today. That's his normal thing. Henry's putting it up there now. Okay? Oh, goodness. Okay. Paula Scanland, I happened to see this reading through this article. I think it was Western Journal, and she hasn't been on in a while. Democrats have another problem to worry about as the man who helped Trump win has his eyes on the blue state of New Jersey. Big picture of course, Scott Presler. Paula is a pioneer in her own right, one of the few Penn students who came out and talked about what it was like with Leah Thomas on that women's swimming team, if you remember. It seems like 100 years ago. She's now a legislative liaison, the independent women's voice. She is an inspiration because it takes a lot to do that. And because, I wanted to make this point, because of people like Paula and Riley Gaines, we now see the women over there in, the women opposing San Jose State. So they were, what was the college last time? The one that, Nevada. Able to feel comfortable or more comfortable to speak out against this nonsense. Couldn't do that at Penn. Paula joins us here because she wants to come to Jersey and help out Scott Presler on Talk Radio 1210. Paula, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on today.
Well, thank you for the role that you assumed, too, after this. I mean, you were still in the age, let's say, able to do this. These women in Nevada now, you helped inspire that, Riley Gaines, where they seem pretty comfortable. The assistant coach got fired or put on suspension, but they can't do that to the players as easily now, Paula.
Yeah, I mean, now everyone's been talking about this issue, so they're having a harder time pushing back, and I think that some of the silencing tactics that they tried to use on me at the University of Pennsylvania have been exposed. And so people know what the universities will try to do, and they also know how to see through it when, for lack of a better explanation, to see through when these universities are really full of crap, which is what they did at the University of Pennsylvania to me and what they're doing to other coaches now who are put in similar situations and other athletes who are also faced with the same things.
Yeah, Paul, I told you this the other time that you were on. There were some people that were critical back then saying, well, why don't you all just speak up and do that? We try to explain. This was vicious. I mean, you were living in an era at that point, even it's only a few years ago, where they get the mob up there on Twitter, et cetera, and you are a professional person graduating Penn, they're going to blackball you for 20 years or more.
Yeah, that's exactly what they told us. You know what shows? To this date, no one else on my team has publicly spoken about what we were put through.
Yes.
Privately, I've received messages from a few girls on my team, of course. But again, publicly, none of them have said anything. And again, that shows the fear and the level of fear that everyone has about speaking out against what is common sense to say that a man and women are different.
Yeah, and Riley told us, too, she's been on multiple times, Paul, about how long it takes for many times to get into the swimsuit. It's got to be just right. It's made to fit. And you're doing all that with Leah Thomas there naked walking around. That's just preposterous now. But at that point, nothing happened to Leah Thomas. Nothing happened to Penn. They were able to coerce people.
Exactly. And I think that it just shows, again, the power they have over us that they shouldn't have. I mean, there's no other way to explain that. It's just crazy that they're allowed to do that, but also just something that's so ridiculous. It was just so insane to rationalize it. And to this day, I mean, I can't believe that there's even an argument going on here. Everybody knows what a man is. Everybody knows what a woman is. And somehow almost half this country has just forgotten and tried to pretend like they don't know.
Well, the thing in this election that got people, the Trump people were smart. I would have doubled the budget on this, $33 million they ran on what Harris said. But the commercials that really got people were what you were engaged in, which is fair play, women against this. And the point I would make is if Leah Thomas were your size or smaller and just happened to be an excellent swimmer, But this is a guy who's enormous versus the average woman, longer limbs, etc., and all the other advantages. When it comes to swimming, it should have been pretty obvious. You can't let this go on.
I mean, I don't even know what else it would have taken for them to just say that. To me, it was just so obvious already. I don't know what else they would have needed. But again, it's still happening, which is what is even crazier. And when I went through it, I really thought that it was a one-time thing. I thought that it was only my team and this was just only in swimming. But again, we're seeing this in track and field and volleyball. And they've calculated over 1,000 medals have been lost by female athletes with a male competing in the sport across, I think, over 30 different sports. It's widespread. It's everywhere. And we're seeing it at the elementary school level, the middle school level, the high school level, college, Olympics, you name it. So it's just really madness. And I can't believe, again, that there's so many people defending this.
I'll ask you about the legislation here because you are the legislative liaison, Independent Women's Voice, which is a great group. But the reason I thought of you most, I see you throw your swim trunks into the ring, so to speak here, your swimsuit, to join up and want to come to Jersey and be registering voters. So tell me what you saw with this Presler guy and what he's doing.
Yeah, I worked with Scott Presler a little bit in Pennsylvania, actually. Okay. I got to see some of the stuff he did firsthand. Obviously, Pennsylvania is really important. I was actually trying to count how many different days I spent in Pennsylvania this past year. It was a lot. I think I was making at least 3 to 4 trips a month down to somewhere in Pennsylvania to work on things related to the election. So it's really interesting. But the big thing is, yes, a lot of people have noticed that New Jersey is actually potentially could be a swing state. Believe it or not, right? We're looking at the numbers from the election, this past election. New Jersey was actually closer than Arizona was. I'm not sure if people really picked up on that or if other people are looking at the numbers, but that is really surprising. And so I think, again, I've lived in both neighboring states. I've lived in New York. I've lived in Pennsylvania. New Jersey is obviously like right there in the middle. And I think that there's a lot of room there. I know a lot of people who are involved in New Jersey politics, and I think that we could do something big there in the next 4 years. And so very early stages, but it's definitely something that I want to get involved in. And I think that all hands on deck. I mean, if there's other people who are from New Jersey that want to help move the efforts and really make it a swing state, we're all for it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it was close the last time until those Hudson County votes mysteriously came in. And this time around, no sitting governor. And what we saw this last time, and then people like you and Presler, what are we waiting for? We're going to win this one. So you're the legislative liaison, Independent Women's Voice. Is the big thing for Trump coming in as best he can to take apart what Biden did on Title IX?
Yes, absolutely. And Trump has already said that he'll do that. Obviously, it hasn't. He's not in office yet, so there's still some time that we, have to actually get him there. And I think that it's going to be really good for this country. I think, again, the crazy Title IX regulations that we saw the Biden administration drop this past year are going to be reversed. I think that's really good. I think also just in general, the Department of Education, things that they're talking about, bringing it back to the states, I think that will also be very beneficial for a lot of people in this country because the entire Department of Education is sort of just overreach and doing all this nonsense and teaching all these horrible things in the schools. And our country's fallen behind in education in general compared to other countries. So I'm very excited to see how it all turns out, but it's going to be hard work. And so that is something that there is a lot of things that the Trump administration is trying to do, and it's going to be hard work. It's not all going to get done overnight. And so I'm just excited to see, again, just there's hope again. And I think that there's room for new ideas. And again, I'm very excited to see how everything plays out.
Absolutely. Well, with Scott Presler there, you coming into the state, this is the expectations are very, very high. Paula, where do people go to find what you're doing?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Paula Y. Scanland. So working on this women's sports issue and just in general on the movement of getting people to open their eyes up and be open to voting for conservative values. And I think that that's something we, again, really saw in this past election. So I think that what it shows us is people are really tired of the woke. And we're going to make sure that it's out and we can go back to normal things again and have normal conversations and not talk about men playing women's sports because hopefully we'll get rid of that completely.
What's the closest you came? Did you ever have to swim against Leah Thomas?
I swim different events, but
Okay.
again, I was practicing with him every single day. We were undressing in the locker room with him 18 times per week that we were on the team.
Oh, my God.
This is something I saw very up close and very regularly. So it was not ideal, obviously, and I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I went through. And again, that's why it's so important that I speak up against this gender nonsense and this transgender insanity that's going on in this country. And I think we're winning on this issue, and I think that this election showed us, again, how tired people are of seeing men playing in women's sports and walking into a bathroom and seeing a fully grown, fully intact male.
Exactly right. Paula Scanland. Paula, thank you for coming back to Philadelphia.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on.
Paula Scanland coming to Jersey. Scott Presler here at 2:30. All right, let's go to Bill in Bucks on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Bill, what's your poster today?
Well, just before I get to that, I wanted to mention that the Bucks County Board of Elections was meeting today to discuss what they're going to do with 10,200 provisional votes, whether they were going to accept them or not. So maybe J.D. Mullane might be able to give us some insight on that. If you
have to go through them vote by vote until they win, I guess, right? Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do, but that's 10,000. And don't forget, Trump won the county by 512.
I know that. Yep, without a
The
doubt.
first since 1988.
We should get a license plate out there in Bucks County, 512. Serious about that, yeah.
Right, 512. Unfortunately, they still have the 102nd seat in the PA House, unfortunately.
That is, again, I know things are tough, but Republicans couldn't win back the House in this environment. My God. But, Bill, who's your poster?
It's from the movie The 7-Year Itch. Marilyn Monroe is standing over a subway vent grate.
In New York.
The subway
Yep.
goes by in New York City and blows up the dress.
Yep, that
And
is a very good
that
one.
picture.
That is the 50s, early 60s form of Farrah Fawcett or better, I think. Yeah, that's iconic. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Joe in Bordentown. Joe, what's yours?
Mine is Keep On Truckin' by Robert Crumb, who also had Fritz the Cat, the hippie poster.
Yeah, I had that on the back of a van that I have, the Keep On Truckin' thing, without a doubt. Yeah. Good one. By the way, sad news. Denzel Washington is going to be retiring after this batch of Black Panther films. I'm not sure how many films, that one or two. It can't be. I mean, I've said many times, and we'll talk about this more in depth tomorrow because we got a lot of other stuff going on, that I think he was the greatest actor of the last 30 years or so. I mean, people
He's
have
up there.
different tastes. Yeah, I like him the best. And, of course, remember the Titans. He plays the coach. That's one of his top 5 roles. Game Ball, Ronnie Bass. All right, one more, and then we'll have Dom's Money Melody coming up here. Let's go to Ralph in Broomall. Ralph, what's yours?
Okay. Well, just before just wanted to give.
All right, let's go to Robert in Ben Salem, Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys today. I'm getting right to the answer because I see the clock. There's an inspirational poster I remember from my child. It's called Footprints in the Sand, and it's about a man dreaming of walking along the beach with God, and he notices 2 sets of footprints behind him, but he notices that at the particularly bad points of his life, there's only 1 set of footprints, and he asked God, why did you abandon me during these troubling times? And God said, I would never abandon you. When you see only 1 set of footprints is the times that I was carrying you. You guys have a good day, all right?
That is, yes, that is
a good one.
That is beyond icon. Oh, man, that takes your breath away. All right, right now, though, we'll get to a winner before the end of this hour. It is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
That is exactly right. Today, we're playing for the book, Letters to Trump, the iconic book from the Don Trump Jr. event, how people like Oprah and others saw Trump prior to him running for office. And then all of a sudden, he was public enemy number 1. So, Henry, what do you have today?
Yeah, Dom. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe I just did that.
Oh, boy.
Just did it. Anyway, in honor of our side question today, what is an iconic movie poster? I thought of an iconic movie poster myself. You remember The Doors? Jim Morrison, when he's shirtless, got his arms up? I feel like that was pretty popular back in the day. So I'm going to play a cover of a famous Doors song. I want to know who the artist is singing, all right?
Okay.
Simple enough.
You know the day destroys the night, the night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side.
Second most iconic, I think it might be, depending on your taste. Yeah, without a doubt. Kind of short-lived. What did he die at, 27?
Yeah, he's part of that iconic 27 club.
Oh, it's iconic, yeah. Okay.
For the wrong reasons,
Yeah,
of
for
course.
the wrong, right. Hit us with that. Who is covering that classic? And we will send you the, I think it's $100 value, the Letters to Trump book. 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. Just push pound 1210. Jump in and give us your guess.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
What a day to celebrate. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like I have a New Year's morning hangover I haven't had since college.
What you guys have done over there in this election is unbelievable. Having Presler on all the time, having Laura Trump on, having Linda Kearns on, that stuff goes a long way.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. We are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. What comes to mind when you hear the word gratitude? Maybe it's a daily practice, or maybe it feels hard to be grateful right now. Don't forget to give yourself some thanks by investing in your well-being. BetterHelp is the largest online therapy provider in the world, connecting you to qualified professionals via phone, video, or message chat. Let the gratitude flow. Visit BetterHelp.com/healthieryou today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/healthieryou.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Gerhardt's Appliances has what you need to be tailgate ready this season for the birds. Whether it's the in-home appliances needed to prepare your famous Kelly green pepper casserole before pregame, or the barbecue grills you'll need to fire up the last of your sausage links in the parking lot before kickoff, Gerhardt's has you covered with the best game day deals on appliances. Gerhardt's Appliances, helping Philly sports fans get the season cooking since 1945. Visit Gerhardt'sAppliance.com.
You love your city, but let's be honest, the commute, not so much. That's where the free Odyssey app can help. Download the app and follow your local news station so you can get the latest traffic reports or find if your train is on time before you walk out your door. Knowing all this gives you time to think about the essential things like, do I have time to get coffee? Download the free Odyssey app and search your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Calling on Percy to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
Download it now.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's exactly right. All right, Jim Morrison, famous song Doors. Here's a little taste of it. Who's covering it?
Everybody loves my baby.
All right, let's go to Olga in media on Talk Radio 1210. Olga, who's covering that song?
Hello, Dom.
Hi.
I might be Val Kilmer when he did all the songs from the movie The Doors.
Good try. Yeah, Val Kilmer played Morrison. Valerie and Pence Hawken, who's covering the song?
Is it Dirty Harry?
Okay. You have another clue, Henry, before we go too far down the rabbit hole here?
Yeah, this is a famous
Yes.
90s grunge band.
Yes. Okay. Rachel in Gloucester City. Rachel, who's covering the song?
I could be wrong, but I think it's STP, Stone Temple Pilots.
Very nice. You got it, Rachel. Enjoy the Trump book, Letters to Trump, Most Famous People in the World. Oprah, I feel weepy when you talk about you as presidential candidate and me as VP at one point. Yes, think of Oprah now. Whether she got $1 million or not with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was overpaid. The worst is that raunchy online women's group. Apparently, they paid $100,000 for that set. Could have gone to IKEA. I think we could have gotten it for $100, and it would have looked maybe better. All right, it was not great. Okay, here are the phone lines: 855-839-1210. You get on board. So Scott Presler coming up. We'll find out about him coming to Jersey. We led off today, and you heard Alan West talking about how is this deportation, because this is going to be one of the big issues early on. How will the deportation thing look? And we told you it will look going after criminals, national security risk, and people that are already in the country. Came out today that maybe as many as 1.3 to 1.6 million people with orders to deport, and yet they haven't been deported yet for God knows one reason or another. And then, apparently, Homan talking about they want to go after workplaces, massive workplaces where people just flout the law, and these people are here illegally, and the employer undercutting American worker. That will be the argument, okay? I think that's the way to go. Trump is not going to be using the military. No one's saying that. They're not going to be rounding willy-nilly, coming to Philadelphia and doing that. And then the other part of this is the sanctuary city thing. All right, the last time they huffed and puffed about that, and they did not effectively stop them in the courts. Does executive order do that? I think Trump would have done that. It's going to be more Congress. Can they withhold funds? Apparently, they couldn't get the number of Republicans the last time to withhold any of the funding to these big cities. But if you don't withhold the funding, then they're going to continue to do this. Will some of them give up that badge of being sanctuary city? Sherelle Parker, the mayor of Philadelphia, the other day, when asked about this, said it's too soon to be saying anything. That's an improvement versus Jim Kenney. All these governors huffing and puffing about you got to come through me. We'll see about that. But I think the sanctuary city part, the benefits part, what got people, not everyone in the world is in New York, but what got people nationally is to see $500 a night hotel rooms or things like that, all the benefits in places like New York, Chicago, Denver. Not so much coverage here in Philadelphia when Americans are hurting due to Biden and inflation and Harris. So that will be out of the box. There will be stuff going on with that. The other thing to watch will be Ukraine. Now, Rubio, I think, is a very good choice. John Fetterman has just endorsed Rubio as Secretary of State. That doesn't mean there might not be some friction there with President Trump ultimately. But Rubio is solidly against expansion of aid to Ukraine. He is very tough on things like Venezuela, Cuba, China, things of that nature. And I think there should be no distance between him and President Trump on foreign policy. I don't think we're going to see that at all. In fact, here is a little bit of Rubio. This is cut 16, Henry, there. Here's Rubio in the hallway of the Senate asked about Hamas by a woman. Aren't you concerned about Gaza? Here is what Rubio said to the crowd of posters and reporters.
Senator Rubio, will you call for ceasefire
No, I will not.
in Gaza?
On the
Senator
contrary.
Rubio,
Are you filming it?
Wait,
So I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas should stop building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't
civilians.
care that 15,000
Absolutely,
have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed
I think
every
it's
day?
horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
All right. Rubio will be fine in this role. I think it's a good choice by Trump. You heard Alan West talk about Mike Waltz, who is National Security Advisor. We know that's going to be a great choice. Kristi Noem, I told you what Trump sees just by being in the spin room, standing there with her. After me were a bunch of hostile interviews. She had a lot of presence, looked great on TV, handled it beautifully, and I played you some of what she's done. But kind of a surprising choice for Homeland Security. Not exactly sure about that one, but I think she will be dogged in that role and will be fine. And, of course, Stefanik, this is one of the best picks as UN ambassador, is almost made for that role. So you're going to see more there. By the way, already seeing tickets floated all over today on all the political online sites. Republican choice in 2028, it would be J.D. Vance and Winsome Sears if she becomes governor of Virginia. Some saying Byron Donalds. Okay, either way, those are great choices. How about on the other side? Some are saying already that Josh Shapiro is the front runner. So we got to do more here. And the guy that's going to help do that in Pennsylvania in 26, after he does it in Jersey in 25, the great Scott Presler is with us next to lay out his thoughts about New Jersey and a couple of. Here's the headline I told you yesterday. Democrats have another problem to worry about as the man who helped Trump win has the eyes on the blue state, on New Jersey. And hit us with that all-time great poster. We're looking for that. We've had maybe 5 or 6 that are really top-notch. All right, your calls are next, too. Hey, the holidays around the corner, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve parties, hosting the family, going to work and family events. Well, how do you squeeze all that in? It's simple. Just stop into your nearest Captain Chucky's, pick up that Smith Island crab cake, jumbo lump. Don't forget the mega colossal crab cakes, just delicious. And check out the variety of homemade soups. Great time as we get chillier. This is the perfect time to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuffed mushrooms, salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides, desserts. Get a tray or two for Thursday night, Eagles football, right? Tailgate. Captain Chucky's has several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. Literally a crab cake for everybody. But dessert, soup, sides, and appetizers too. Highest quality ingredients. Ergoff shrimp. Huge hit. Always wild caught and never farm raised. And my favorite, those delicious Dom rolls. I was over there in Flowertown the other day, and a guy said, "Oh, it is you, Dom. I think I'll get some Dom rolls." Of course. One place to go. Visit Captain Chucky's. A lot of locations. Just go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. Headed to the shore. There's Captain Chucky's there, too. Visit CaptainChucky's@theshore.com.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty. at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Make your home renovation dreams come true with Emmons Remodeling.
We handle everything from concept to completion, delivering beautiful, functional spaces for you and your family to enjoy.
Our seasoned designers and construction experts ensure your project is completed on time and on budget.
Give us a call today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Typical November weather returns to the Delaware Valley for the rest of the week. A mixture of sunshine and clouds today. Will be breezy with a high 57. Very cold tonight, mostly clear. Low 35 for the city. Colder out in the suburbs. And for Wednesday, expect plenty of sunshine, but a high temperature below average at 53.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano show. In a moment, Scott Presler here on Talk Radio 1210. Just let me know when he's set. Scott, as I said, is headed to New Jersey, and that made quite a ripple effect yesterday when we learned that. I think it was Richard of Somerdale who called in and said, well, why can't Scott go to New Jersey? Would he consider that? It was toward the end of the show. So we'll talk with him about that and the governor's race principally. But there's the headline. I mean, it's the Western Journal saying Democrats have another problem to worry about. A man who helped Trump win has his eyes on the blue state. Another problem to worry about. That he's that much of a problem here on Talk Radio 1210. Do you not have the number, Henry, or what's going on here?
No, just having a hard time getting a hold of him.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Busy man, as we all know.
Yeah. We'll dial that in here at any moment here. Let me take some more calls. Let's see. Let's go to Gary in Newtown. Hey, Gary. Good afternoon. Yo, Gary. All right. Let's go to Ralph in Broomall. Ralph, good afternoon.
Yeah, okay, quick answer. Kramer.
Well,
the crazy Kramer poster. I mean, that was so popular in the college dorm rooms, Don.
Okay, Kramer. I'll get you down for that one.
Still is.
Oh, yeah, it is. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. We heard from Paula Scanland, who, inspired by Scott Presler, is headed to New Jersey to help out with that. And again, this is a very winnable race as we start to see that play out. I was looking last night at when the primary is on the Republican side because you have three main contenders. Not exactly sure who will rise on the Democrat side, but very, very doable, particularly when you're bringing in people like Presler and some others to do the groundwork as we're speaking right now while it's hot. We saw what played out in the last primary, presidential night, the just lines in New Jersey were beyond belief. Okay? All right. So the first thing we're seeing play today, though, we haven't seen yet with President Trump. And tomorrow we'll get into some of the alternatives. We haven't seen some of the biggies yet. Attorney General, it seems to be some of these attorneys general at the state level that are being considered. Head of the Defense Department are absolutely a critical role. Now with Walls taking national security, CIA in this era, that's still out there. And then FBI will be there once Trump is in there. Trying to reform that is going to be massive. Let's go to Drew in Upper Darby. Drew, you're in on Talk Radio 1210. Hi, Drew.
Hey, Don, how you doing? Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You know, Don, thank you. Don, you still may see some of these posters hanging in Italian restaurants in South Philadelphia or in the Italian barbershops, because I do. Back in 1982, when Italy won the World Cup in soccer, they made a huge poster of the team. It said El Campion del Mundo, champions of the world. And though it's been over 40 years, some of these posters are still hanging in many Italian establishments.
Yeah, I've seen them too, Drew. Good to hear from you, as always. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Hopefully we'll catch up with Scott Presler. And we'll also have a lightning round coming up to give you a chance to hit us with that all-time poster. Remember the story, that former Air National Guardsman charged with leaking classified documents is about ready to be sentenced. I think it's coming down at any moment. And again, these are one of those things we like to get back to you with, because people ask, well, what the heck happened with this? That seems to me it's April 13th, 2023, all the way back to there. It's taken until now. And that was a major story. And this stuff is all part of what the Trump administration is going to be facing, of all kinds of people inside, particularly State Department, Defense Department in Washington, who don't want to see this stuff succeed that Trump has run on. Some of them saying they have PTSD from the election, being told by Trump spokespeople today, well, why don't you leave then if that's the case? All right, so that is all bubbling up. It'll play out pretty soon. You know, one of the biggest and healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here. Right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and a lot more. One more thing. This Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call a Rescue product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the month of November. So why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements at res-q.com. Do it today.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Hey, it's Rhea Hughes. Fall is here, and it's the perfect time to head over to Lexus of Cherry Hill for the L Certified Fall Collection sales event. It is much nicer than pumpkin spice. They have over 300 new and L-certified pre-owned Lexus to choose from. Stop in, see my friend Tony Labello and his team of experts. They will treat you like family and get you a great deal on a new or pre-owned Lexus. For the best selection and great service, visit LexusofCherryHill.com. That's Lexus of Cherry Hill. Family owned and operated.
You're a winner this winter when you play Borgata's Winning Wonderland. From now through December 28th, earn entries in slot and table games for your stake in over $1 million in prizes, including 2 2025 Land Rover Range Rovers, each valued at over $150,000. Drawings take place every Saturday with grand prize drawings on November 30th and December 28th. For details, visit theborgata.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. Welcome in. Scott Presler having a little internet phone problem. We may hear from him here, though. I desperately want to hear from him as always. And we'll have the lightning round here on Talk Radio 1210. Is he there? Let's go to Scott Presler. Hey, Scott, thanks for... Well, I'll bring him up. Let's go to Scott. Let's go to Scott Presler on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Scott, sorry you're having a little issue here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah, I blame Josh Shapiro.
Are you in the hinterlands of Pennsylvania?
No, I'm back home with Mom and Dad in Virginia.
Ah, well, that's good. I know Scott's been a long time on the road, but a listener called yesterday and said, can't we talk to Scott now about coming to Jersey? I hadn't thought about that, and you were already making that commitment. So give us your grand vision, what you're going to do.
Well, I want to make it clear that we're continuing our operations in Pennsylvania. And right now, the Democrats still have an advantage of 286,000 more registered Ds than ours in Pennsylvania. But if you take out inactive voters, that number becomes 1,000. And so we have already set a goal at earlyvoteaction.com that by the next presidential election in 2028, we want to have a plurality of registered Republican voters in the Commonwealth. And so it becomes what happens next year in 2025. Well, we have the Virginia governorship, you have the New Jersey governorship, and I've already stated my commitment to spend some time in New Jersey, so I will be sneaking across the border from Pennsylvania into New Jersey legally and lawfully. And then furthermore, correct me if I'm wrong, Don, but I do think that we have Supreme Court justice elections in 2025. And the way that it works is this is a vote on whether or not to have retention of a justice. And so if I'm correct, the way that it will work is 3 Democrat justices are up for retention. And if we vote no on those 3 justices, then there will be a special election to fill those seats in 2027. And so next year, 2025, is going to be critical if we want to reshape and remake the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania.
That's why you're the best. Nobody else even talking about this. I admit I wasn't talking about it because we're still celebrating. And, Scott, I'll give you, too. We're working on something here to celebrate you. You were overwhelmingly, who listeners said was responsible for Jersey, although this was a tough state. We had 4 other people who were incredible, but we want to do something with you. Scott, so with Jersey now.
Thank you.
With Jersey, what is it exactly you're going to be doing?
Voter registration.
Okay.
So we are going to make sure that, I mean, look, in 2020, 4 years ago, in 2021, you know, the New Jersey governorship was almost won by Republicans. It was very narrow. And I mean, look at the work that conservatives have done this last year. They turned New Jersey into a swing state that it used to be double digits for the Democrats, and now it's single up to 5 percentage points. And so now is the time that we strike while the iron is hot, that we have all of this momentum and enthusiasm. And so New Jersey, you're going to be seeing a lot of more of me in your state. And my phone has been ringing off the hook from Gloucester to Union City to Camden to Newark. I mean, all across the state, people have been reaching out to me.
Well, 2 things. We had on Paula Scanland, who swam at the University of Pennsylvania. She worked with you in Pennsylvania, or at least was at stops. She's committed to going to New Jersey just because of you. And some Connecticut woman said she wants to be the Scott Presler of Connecticut, which is a really hard state. You are the template now of what to do.
Well, Paula, I met her in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and she even spent some of her time in PA just to help us win the state. And I just want to honor her and thank her for standing up for women and women's rights. Paula, you're a champion and a hero. And then furthermore, that Connecticut woman, she's already slid into my DMs, and I messaged her back. I'm going to have her call me next week just because I need a little bit of time off, a little bit of a respite. But I'm going to spend Christmas break, Dom, writing a blueprint on how we flipped Pennsylvania and what other states can start doing. Let's make red states redder. Let's flip purple states red, and let's flip blue states purple. And let's use that model going straight into 2026 and straight into 2028.
All right, take us through what I want to know on the personal level, though. We know what you've done, your genius of incrementalism, all the stuff, not having an air conditioner. We know all that stuff. But your parents home in Virginia, they have to be just amazed when the prodigal son comes home with all these people saying Scott Presler around the world.
No, my mom and dad are definitely over the moon. And I hope that I'm a good reflection of the Presler family name. You know, my grandfather was a retired Navy captain. He served our country. My dad is a retired Navy captain. And although I haven't served, you know, this is my very different way of giving back to our country. And I tell you, this is going to be the best Thanksgiving and best Christmas ever. I can finally take a breather. I can finally enjoy family time. And I tell you, we're already gearing up for the future.
I can tell that. Well, we want to get you here. It's by listener demand. I'm under duress here. We got to get Scott Presler here to celebrate with him. I'll contact you and let you know. But, Scott, for now, where do people go to be part of this movement?
Well, please, I know that we're going into Christmas time and people are struggling under the Kamala economy, but that is about to change. But we're continuing operations. And if you would like us to continue in Pennsylvania, I ask you to consider financially contributing at earlyvoteaction.com. And again, we are also going to focus on New Jersey, and we're going to help fortify Nevada, Pennsylvania, Nevada especially. And so earlyvoteaction.com, and anyone living in New Jersey and Virginia, we'd love to work with you to make sure that we continue this momentum into 2025 and we have victories next year as well.
Scott, thank you. To be continued very soon. Thank you, Scott. Thanks for the effort today, too. I realize you had difficulty. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Scott Presler, great work by Henry to get him on the phone. We don't need the sounder, but the lightning round is sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease all new wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, you have to be quick. Don in Franconia. Don, what's your poster?
Will Chamberlain scoring 100 points against the team that the 76ers are playing tonight.
Oh, that's right, against the Knicks. I don't know. There was I just know the wrist sitting there with the holding up the sign. Earl, what's yours? Who's yours?
Mine would be the Albert Einstein sticking out his tongue.
Yes.
Okay.
Iconic.
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 Right.
In classrooms across America.
All right. Thank you, Earl, very much. All right, Henry, a lot to break down here. Give us a few that there were 5 or 6 that were great today.
Yeah, I think the ones that stuck out to me were Chris and Malvern, just the hope. I mean, I don't think you can run an ad campaign for a president much better than that. I also like the Marilyn Monroe subway great answer from Bill in Bucks County. And then the way he answered the question, Robert and Ben Salem with the footprints in the sand, I thought was a very strong contender.
Those were all strong. I agree with you. I like Robert, so. And the way the call and the whole thing, these posters were great. We'll do it again sometime because they were wonderful. All right, one quick takeaway from today. Never got to it fully. Liberals now, progressives, wanting to dream up that they need a liberal Joe Rogan. And right there, hearing that messes up the whole concept. I don't see politics very much in Rogan at all. Or they tend to be libertarian. They don't like that even. It's a, malaise, young men in America. We've talked about this. Why is there malaise? Well, the Democrat Party, toxic masculinity, gone after all those things. And this is a safe haven. That's what's going on. Try to replicate that. I remember when they put Al Franken and Rachel Maddow, what was it, America's Channel or something, the syndicated radio shows. Dreadful. Particularly Franken, who's supposed to be a comedian. I can't imagine.
I don't even know that happened.
Al Franken, yes, Google it. You'll see. This was a national effort to try to combat Rush Limbaugh, Dom Giordano, Rich Cioli, and the like. Miserable because they just don't get the spirit of talk radio. It was like a liberal think tank presentation every day. And Al Franken was even worse than Rachel Maddow. I forget some of the other people, but it was a big flop. There's a reason that talk radio is tending to be more conservative. It's the rest of the media is so progressive, so liberal, so corporate going that way. It's a pushback on that. And it's a lot of fun. Something that was, you can't imagine spending 3 hours with Rachel Maddow. Or for that matter, Al Franken. Nice job by Henry, though, getting Scott Presler on. Big winner today. We'll do it all again tomorrow on the side question. And as I said, Rich Cioli's next, too, to take people home. Let me remind you, though, it's so important to make sure our families have the essentials. Food, shelter, and, of course, pure, clean drinking water. There's a lot of news about drinking water these days. Just do what I did. Count on Martin Water Conditioning to secure your family's drinking water. The Kinetico system removes all the impurities from your water. What comes out of the tap is crystal clear, all natural water. Not only is it the best tasting water ever, it provides peace of mind knowing that your family's water is pure and clean. The Martin Water Conditioning family is passionate about water. They'll put their 46 years of experience to work for you. Now, these guys have been to our house several times. The testing, something else we did. Dwayne, our guy, fantastic. They love showing you taking the impurities out of your water. And again, this is a free test. They'll recommend solutions that make sense for you. Contact Martin Water Conditioning. They'll take great care of you. 2 ways to do that. Go to martinwater.com or call 800-887-7555. Tell them Dom sent you, 800-887-7555. All right, great stuff today. And particularly this movement toward New Jersey. We'll have a lot more tomorrow, noon until 3. And we are working on something to honor Scott Presler here in the Delaware Valley. In fact, I got a lot of phone calls to make today, but we'll let you know about this. And I think it'll be before Thanksgiving, certainly before we get into the holidays. People have been demanding it. I've gotten a go-ahead. Now I just have to put it together. Dan, get well soon. Great job by Henry today, particularly getting Scott on the phone. Rich is poised in studio for 4 big hours today to take you home. All that on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
President Donald Trump, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Your show is great. I've listened to your show many times.
Thank you, Mr.
Many times. You have a hell of an audience, by the way.
We got you, Mr. President. We got your back. People are excited to vote for you. And
if we win Pennsylvania, we win everything.
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. And on the free Odyssey app.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, it's Black November, and many consumers complain that Black Friday discounts aren't as deep as they used to be. Well, that's not true at National Appliance Warehouse. They've negotiated big discounts directly from manufacturers and are passing them right on to you.